Hi everyone. Uh, Real quick, this is Justice. This is Bohab. I'm Justice.
Hey, this is Bohab.
Also known as Adam. I've been wondering if I should upload these onto Undead Gardens YouTube or our YouTube. I mean, my YouTube or Undead Gardens YouTube.
Say just our or your Twitch one, unless we do something that's more music related, then maybe throw that up on the Undead Garden.
Yeah, I guess.
I say it's better to save the Undead Garden one just for stuff that focuses on the music. So if we do a stream where we talk primarily about music or like work on song ideas, then maybe throw that up there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to do something like that actually.
Yeah, we should do that like once or twice a month where we just like show what demos we're working on to each other and just sort of pitch ideas to each other back and forth.
That'd be cool. You want to know what would be really cool? Because you don't have a camera or anything like that. But
I mean, I do like the one that's built into my laptop, but my internet is so shitty that if I try to stream voice and video, like it will be so laggy. Like I watched some of last week's stream, and even just like the voice by itself, it started like cutting out at certain points.
Yeah, I would say no. What I meant to like is like record. So like I one of the things I've been debating on is recording a helicopter fight. The song that I just showed you before we streamed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we could do like a music video where it shows us each recording our parts and playing together.
Yeah,
together. I mean, is that what you mean, or
no? I was more thinking of like behind the scenes type of stuff. So like I'd be showing my thought process of to what I'm doing, explaining it, showing the parts of it, and how I like write the guitar part. You could show your part and your whole entire thing, and then we just splice that footage together to make kind of like this like joint. Like this is how we make our songs, and this is how we make helicopter fight, and this is what it sounds like. And then yeah, we can do that whole thing where we do a music video where it's just us playing our parts and yeah.
No worries.
I was also thinking we could do that for like covers and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I'd be interested in doing something like that.
Or like you could be like, okay, this is my setup, this is what I do, da 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 da, and then you could explain how you know, it's like talking to yourself, like thinking out loud how you process and all that other stuff.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not great at that stuff.
Hold on, there's a feedback coming back.
Yeah. Well, I pulled your stream up on Twitch because I want to be able to read the chat on that, so I can use my cell phone internet for your stream and not waste my bandwidth for sending my voice to you.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, I hear myself. What's going on?
Yeah, now it's set up.
Sweet. And look at, and you were worried about me being ready and stuff like that.
Well, you're doing hosting.
This is true.
I'm not that into the tech of the streaming world and all that.
One of these days, I should well, I did kind of show.
So, what do you want to do first? I mean, we still got to wait for people to show up.
Did you watch the episode?
Oh, that I told you I was going to do? Of course not.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was just kind of a weird week. My days off got kind of. They called and woke me up at 5 a.m. this morning. Maybe go open the store. So I've been sleeping all day.
No, that's good.
And I've been Fire Emblem has been taking up a lot of my time.
I also
beat it last night, but I beat one part of it. It's got a branching narrative where you're like a teacher at this officers academy, and there's different paths depending on what class you're put in charge of. Mm-hmm. So I beat one of the routes, and there's so many like unanswered story questions. I think I'm gonna go New Game Plus through another one. It's good though.
Oh, So I can actually give you a bit of an answer about. Do you watch The Completionist, right?
Yeah, of course.
Did you see his? Oh no, maybe it wasn't The Completionist I saw it on. Maybe it was a streamer that I was talking to about it. Because Snoodles, she streams a lot of Fire Emblem, and I think I was talking to her about it. Unless The Completionist
Okay.
did do Fire. Did he do a Fire Emblem episode?
I I don't know.
Because
If he has, I
because here's the thing, and I don't know who I talked to. I don't know where I heard it from. I don't know if I watched a video and I watched it and they said this, but I know for a fact that in order to get those missing questions that you have to play everyone's storyline,
yeah.
or something like that. So like it's New Game Plus, but like in order to get the full story, if that's what you're really after, that's a lot of
Yeah, I got to play all
playthroughs.
three storylines, and I was pretty thorough. I did Blue Lions, which I've been told is the best one, and I mean I did a lot of unnecessary grinding, so I was like super over leveled at the end of the game. But it was about 50 hours all told that playthrough. Honestly, it ended sooner than I thought it was because there was a lot of stuff like it's like, oh, you can't do this until after the war is over. And I was like, oh, I guess there's a third act of the game after this war section. So I was kind of anticipating that. So when it ended, and there's just you get like the post game telling everybody what everybody did. I was kind of like, oh no, wait, there's so much other shit. They barely addressed like what was going on with the main villains, so I got to go back through and get like the other sides of that story, just for closure sake.
Yeah.
Certainly. No, it definitely wasn't the completionist. He's only done one of the Fire Emblem games, and it's the Game Boy Advance one, which I have played.
Oh, okay. By the way, real quick. Oh, was that your phone that was doing that
It was YouTube. I I
on your
accidentally clicked
computer?
on something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to say. I'm all like, how am I hearing feedback? Because I heard that. I was gonna say, do you have
Oh,
headphones?
yeah. I'm wearing headphones, but like not all of my audio is routed through the headphones. Like some default stuff is still
Ah.
coming out of my computer speakers.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. We should talk about Attack on Titan before we do the watch
Yeah,
party.
yeah. I was about to say people showed up a lot quicker than I thought they would. So if you want to go ahead and discuss it, especially since Echo's here, he has a lot of strong opinions about
I
Gabby
think everyone
and how
has.
punchable her
I,
face is.
I think everyone has strong opinions after everything that went down. First, I just want to say, while I was typing in the chat, oh, not in the chat, while I was coming up with the title for this stream, I realized that morning and morning, the only difference is there's a U in the word. But like I didn't, for some reason it didn't click in my brain. You know how like night and night both sound but are spelled differently, but not really.
Yeah,
I
homonyms.
I didn't really think of morning and morning as different words until right now. Even though they so obviously are, and logically, yeah, they are. But like I don't really use morning or to mourn often.
This isn't a morning person.
So like it was weird to be like morning, and I'm like, oh, those words sound exactly the same, and it falls into whatever the word for that is.
Troy Abbott, innocent morning.
But yeah. Anyways, all right.
But yeah, they're homonyms. Is the homonyms they sound exactly alike, but they have different meanings and spellings.
Homonyms. Yeah. By the way, okay, so let's talk about Attack on Titan. First off, Adam, you were right. I mean, I didn't disagree with the big twist that happened at the end. That if no spoilers, obviously.
That wasn't really the twist.
Not the twist.
They laid. I mean, the twist with Zeke is inspiring with Aaron. I would say that's the major twist of the episode.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff they played up in the preview, like they kind of really like leaned heavily on, oh, there's going to be a big Reiner Aaron fight in the next episode, and that was like nothing. Like one punch, and it went down. and just barely ended up being any part of the episode. But the whole, I mean, spoiler alert, Sasha's dead. We called it. And can't like feel that like intellectual about seeing it coming because it was very telegraphed.
Yeah,
From,
it was like obviously she was gonna die. It was gonna be like
very obvious.
I wasn't thinking it was gonna happen that soon.
I did because the name of the episode was Assassin's Bullet.
Oh, you know what? I should have paid attention to the title.
So fucking what other possible thing could it have possibly? And it was so telegraphed. Like the moment Gabby and Sasha locked eyes in that episode, it's like, oh, she's gonna kill Sasha.
Yes. Never felt anything but annoyance.
We saw it coming so far in advance, and there's nothing we could do about it. Kind of just made it hurt all the more.
Well, okay, so I've been rereading the manga.
Need to get started doing that. I want to.
You should. It's a lot to read. It took me, I think, 3 whole days, 3 to 4 days. Oh no, not even 3 to 4 days. I've been reading it ever since last week. So it took me a week.
Cool.
It took me a week of like reading, and I mean like hours and hours of reading. And I'm on chapter. To get into it. Oh no, I know. This is just for the sake of me saying it, but I'm on chapter. What is it? Oh my god, 93. I'm about halfway through chapter 93.
Oh wow! So you've been just powering through it.
Oh yeah, I'm on volume, I think, 21 or something like that.
Yeah, at this point, you'll probably catch up with the manga before it finishes.
Well, I'm purposefully gonna read as the episodes come out. So I'm at the point of where they have just, because there's a lot of the manga is 1-to-1 for the anime. By the way, I want to stress that like the manga's ahead, so if you obviously want to like know what's going to happen ahead, people are like that. But so far, the manga is 1-for-1. I am on the episode where Zeke is talking to the commander about how they have failed. I am caught up with the new season. He is talking about how.
Oh, so wow, you're already. Yeah, but that's why I think the anime is going to have a different ending, because it's like 150, 160 chapters of the manga all told.
137.
137. Okay, I thought it was more than that. But I mean, you're in what, 9? So there's 40 more chapters to go, and
I'm in episode 1.
8 or 9 episodes of the.
Yeah, I'm in episode 1. If we're equating this to the anime, I'm in episode 1.
Season 4.
Like the first 5 minutes through episode 1 of the anime.
Okay, so there's so much more of the manga at this point. It kind of seems like they'd have to do something different just to get to a conclusion at all.
Yeah, I will say this. Rereading the manga has given me a whole new light on the anime, because the anime is 1-for-1. If anything, actually, the anime has more. The anime actually gives more context to the gaps in between.
Like, something that I like about the anime is pacing-wise, it takes its time. Each like arc or season, or like patch of a season or episode, just covers like one big battle or event.
Well, that's kind of how the manga is as well. The manga is a lot more flowing. It's a lot faster. But the anime has added detail. Like, so for example, when they're going through the Levi's arc, right? With his whole backstory and everything. Like, they rearrange a few things as well, because the manga does flashbacks to the first 2 episodes of Attack on Titan. Those are actually it's those parts aren't revealed till later in the manga, but because those are all flashbacks. But the anime made it all one whole entire thing, rather than it being a flashback in and of itself, like the manga has.
Yeah, Echo, I have heard that. I've also seen people posit maybe there'll be like a season 4 part 2, like there was for season 3. I'd rather they just tie it up as long as they can do it well.
Yeah,
I'm more concerned with the story reaching a satisfying conclusion than it being some sort of arbitrary mark or getting extended.
Well, I'm wondering if the anime is working with the person who made the manga. And I say this like as like so the
I mean, they
anime we're
kind of have
watching
to be,
right
right? I
now,
mean,
the anime we're watching right now, the person who made the webcomic actually got to talk, like she made comics about her having discussions with the people of this comic. She also had her own Twitter thread. She worked directly with the people and she helped make some of the decisions to make her anime, her manga become an anime. And I'm wondering if it's the same, like for example, you know how George R. R. Martin helped with Game of Thrones first 4 seasons and then fade it into the background.
yeah, I mean, I hope it isn't, Game of Thronesy in the sense that it goes off the rails at the end and then ruins it.
no, I don't want it to go that way, but I'm saying the way the creator, how much creative control does the creator have? Like, could it be possible that the person who created Attack on Titan already has like all the manga, like the major story beats? Like, he's like, this is how the anime is gonna go. Here are like the things, and the anime can still have a similar.
Just with how faithful it's been so far, it seems like they know what they're doing and they're working with.
Oh, it's been 100. Like I said, it's been 1-to-1. If not, I would say the anime in this instance is better than the manga. And
In the manga, is Eren that whiny and ineffectual during the first half of season 3?
Okay, so here's the thing I'll say about the manga.
That was one of my problems with the anime. Is like Eren becomes a completely different character for the first half of season 3. Like he's he's a survivor. He'll fight. He'll do anything to survive and win for the first 2 seasons. And then first half of season 3 is just like, I give up. Winning is hard. Please just kill me.
I don't know. I should rewatch that because again, I'm reading the manga, and from what I can tell, it's 1-to-1. But the manga doesn't, because again, remember, keep in mind that they kind of switch some stuff around to make it flow better. The anime also fills in gaps where like for example, the Levi arc that I was talking about earlier, his arc in the manga is so fast paced, it goes over in a few pages, and then all of a sudden we're in the battle with Reiner and Berthold, and they're already doing like ice hardening training. They also have the panels are a lot easier to read because they have these little slits where they're like, this is how the maneuvering gear works. This is how the walls were instructed. This is public information. These are
well, they have that in the anime too, as the little cards.
I know, but they go by fast. This way I can like actually.
I always pause and read them.
Yeah, that's true. But also the 3 books that were left in Aaron's father's basement.
Yeah, the journals.
Yeah, they actually have the transcripts from the journals in there as well. I just read that.
That'd be interesting to read through.
Yeah, it was interesting because it tells you kind of the history of everything and what's going on. It explains the Titan powers too.
Nobody likes Gabby.
Yes. Do I like Gabby? I am indifferent towards Gabby. I don't outright hate her. I don't outright like her. She's a new character.
Hating her is unproductive. She's sort of a victim of her own circumstance. She's a lot like Eren was in.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I told you, Echo.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole idea is
she sucks because other people have manipulated her into sucking.
Yeah. She sucks because she falls into the status quo that we think we know is wrong. And I've said as much to you when we were talking. Like, the thing with Gabby is she is Eren. Like, it is obvious that Falco is Armin, Gabby is Eren, and then the Mikasa of the group just is also Gabby. Gabby is a Mikasa-Eren hybrid.
And Falco's more of a Ross, and then Gabby's more of a Rachel.
Damn it, you know I'm right, Bohab.
Like a Phoebe. Of course. The Chandler of the group.
Yes. But no, so going back to it.
Well, somebody's got to needlessly harass a fictional child. We can't just let that shit go.
But the so
No, I get your point, Echo. I never liked Gabby. She's purposely made to be irritating. You're not supposed to like her, and they do it very effectively.
Yes. You were lukewarm with Armin? Armin is awesome. I love Armin.
I think he's solid. Sometimes he does some dumb shit that I don't.
Well, you gotta tell me when though.
Yeah. Hold on, my cat's all over. Hey, kitty. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see, knowing from how Echo watches stuff, why he wouldn't connect with Armin so much.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Again, like rereading the manga, it just shows how far ahead. Because there's all these things. Even in the first episode, it was like, whoa, that was some deep foreshadowing. That first scene in the first episode was like foreshadowing all the way.
Oh, when he's napping and he has the dream about the attack, or
no, that dream is actually from his father from back when he was in the, so the anime, the manga does a really good job of setting all these clues, especially in the first issues. It sets all of these clues that unless you reread it, you won't pick up on all of this foreshadowing that happens far ahead. Like the way Berthold and Reiner and Annie talk, even before any of those Titans show up. The way they talk to each other, the words they say, and how you can craft them. They're like, oh shit, all of that means this. And sure enough, the manga doubles down on that by going into the past and doing flashbacks of when they talked about that and did all that stuff. And
I feel you, Echo. Sasha was my favorite too.
Sasha was everyone's favorite. She was great. Oh, yeah. And Sasha's...
What's not to love?
Speaking of this, Sasha's death, one of the things I didn't notice until rereading the manga is Sasha has a lot of near deaths.
Yeah, she has some close calls.
But in every single close call, they do a lot to establish what her last moments are. They're like, you're going to die. Like, they foreshadow her death as if it's inevitable. But she keeps, like we talk about everyone else, but Sasha has that more than anyone else. Like, Eren has it. Armin has it. Levi has it. Erwin has it. And Sasha has it. Connie doesn't ever get really a moment to reflect or come near death. Like, he's come near... Like, Connie's almost died a few times, but we never get to see what's going on through Connie's mind. But with Sasha, we've seen...
Like we talked about last week, like, Jean, Connie, and Sasha were, like, three normal characters who had been just barely scraping by the skin of their teeth. Like, they're relatable because, unlike everyone else in the series, they don't have superpowers. But they've, barely survived up to this point, and I feel like they all have targets on their back. They're all going to die. Barely been surviving.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Bohab.
Oh, Ivy. Yes?
You see this?
No. What are you pulling up here? Oh, good. You finally got yourself a water jug, so you don't have to leave me alone on stream anymore.
Wait, hold on. It gets even better.
What is it? I don't know what you're trying to express there.
It's an even bigger jug.
Okay, good.
I feel like Gabby's really... I kind of like that she's in the anime. I like that she's in the manga. Because she has a role to play. Like, if we're talking about all the themes and everything that's going on...
I think you're misunderstanding. He's saying that the author wanted to kill Sasha earlier, not Gabby.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I saw...
Which makes sense from, especially the way this show goes, where it kills off its characters so frequently. Mm-hmm. You're going to consider killing each character so many times before it actually happens.
Yeah. But, what I'm saying is, Sasha,
you the way they, to make it hurt the most.
Yeah. But, she's had, close calls. There's even one time where for example, when they were trying to revive Armin or Erwin. Those words are too similar. they talked about Sasha was in the group of people that were casually like, oh yeah, who's on the brink of death right now, and who do we need to revive? And Sasha was labeled there as well. And also when she was on her bed, so like, just talking about her death before we get into the rest, because that was a big thing. Sasha's last words were meat. And
call back to and them first meeting her on the wall there, or not first meeting her, but that scene on the wall where they stole some meat from the deli meat from the officer pantry.
It actually goes deeper than that. Because, like I said, I've been rereading the manga, and
okay, so how deep does this meat go?
Well, okay, so like there's the meat, right? But there's also when she nearly died, like her first almost death was when she thought about her father, and she was eating on a piece of meat, and she like used that meat to survive, and she said everyone else should die. There was the point where she was hospitalized and on the brink of death, and her last words were meat, and the whole gang was happy that she was stabilized and was going to survive. But they all said, man, none of us got Sasha beat. And it's like, it's a focal point of her character. It's not like super, super deep, but it's such a focal point of her character. They make it, they show that food. It's like,
I relate to that.
Like, no matter what the situation
like
is,
too.
That's always what's on her mind.
I've been eating it my whole life.
How deep indeed. No, I just thought it was very. Because like I said, like I'm reading the manga, and it's putting the anime in a whole different light for me. Because, and I feel like it would be the same if I rewatched the anime, but because I'm going at my own pace, reading the manga, I'm able to absorb a lot more of the details. I also recognize again, like they fill in like Levi's story. They've put some stuff in the anime to build the world around Levi's story. They actually make his story a little longer. Because like I said, there's parts like, or like when they're going to meet the priestess Mike, the guy who like is of the Wall religious order and stuff like that. There's parts that are like where the anime dragged out that conversation a lot longer. And a lot of the details of what they were doing a lot longer.
Well, so, I think that's something the anime does well. Is it takes its time building its world.
Yeah, it expands upon it. So it's so it's crazy. But like for the most part, it's 1-to-1. It is 1-to-1. It's like when I say there's filler, it's not like, oh, they put all of this in. It's like, no, they put like maybe a second.
It's not like Piccolo learning to drive type filler. It's more just like world building.
Yeah, world building. And it's not even that.
There was an episode where Piccolo learned to drive in Attack on Titan, which I thought was just sort of a little distracting from the main story.
It was a crossover episode. It was fun. Piccolo looked fly.
It was fun. I know. He's so gangster.
But yeah, but like Sasha's death was like very sad.
Yeah, especially since we all saw it coming for so long and there was no avoiding it. I sat through that entire episode just anxious out of my mind.
Oh, hey,
it was a good episode, but I did not enjoy watching it.
Good question. How surprised were you when Hans died?
Wait, what?
Because I remember you said, I remember you said a long time ago, you're like, you were watching you were watching it to catch up with season 4 so we could talk about it, right? And you said, I swear to God, I'm on like whatever episode of whatever season, and we were talking about it, and you're like, I swear to God, Justice, if you tell me that either Sasha or Hans dies, I will.
Anji. Okay, that's who you're talking about. No, she's not dead. Dead. Unless she died in the manga.
Hans.
Hanji, the girl with the fucking eye patch and the goggles.
I know who Hanji is. I was saying
that's the one I care about. Who the fuck is Hans?
Oh, Hans was the captain, the drunk captain, the blonde haired.
Oh,
dude.
Hannes or Hans, I guess. Okay,
Hans.
Hannes? Okay, yeah.
Did you say Hannes?
Whatever, he's German.
Hans!
Everyone's so German. Yeah, okay. I bad with names, you know that. But no, I wasn't that surprised when he died. I mean,
Oh, okay.
honestly, I'm surprised he survived as long as he did.
So it was when I
Based
heard
on
you
like
say
how he was
Hanj,
introduced,
I thought you
I
said
did not
Hans, not
consider him a
Hanj.
main character
Because it's
until
Hodgins, right?
which one?
Hodgins.
Hodgins?
The girl you like!
Anji?
Yes.
Or Hanj? Or Hanji? It's I don't
Hanj.
we need Armin to come in here and start pronouncing some of these German words for us.
Well, it's weird because you got Armin and Erwin, which are two words that are very phonetically
They
close.
pronounce it urban.
Urban. My name is Urban.
Because it's German. Everyone's too German. It's just, all the names in this series are this weird mix of Japanese and German that I have so much trouble pronouncing. And I just played through Fire Emblem, and there's so many dumb, hard to remember names in that one too. I'm very confused.
Oh god. But that's crazy, Ivy. That news is actually really cool.
With Hans, I was surprised that he kind of came back to be more of a main character in like season 2 and 3 before he ended up dying. Or wait, did he? What part?
He should have died in season 2.
Yeah, because I don't know, just because like how he was introduced in that first couple episodes, I was pretty sure we were never going to see him again.
Yeah, well, he was a main character. He was not a main character. He was a side character in season 1.
Yeah, but he was a solid. He was a reoccurring, I guess, that's how I would categorize it. But he ended up doing more than I thought he would. But no, I wasn't that surprised when he died. If anything, I was surprised he lasted as long as he did.
Oh yeah, Hanj.
But also, just that his death was so pointless.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the whole point.
Everyone who died during that particular campaign / battle, a lot of pointless and avoidable casualties. I mean, there are in every section of this series, but that especially that whole battle there, like dropping like flies.
I don't know.
But yeah, Echo Hodge, she's my favorite.
She's awesome.
Her and Sasha were now last.
They were also similar builds and hair color and everything too.
The only character I had that much attachment left to.
After that, if Han just dies, you're just gonna drop the anime as a whole.
Well, I'm gonna take it personally. One. No, as soon as she was introduced, I was like, she's so weird and so just like she knows who she is and she's
awesome.
I love it. I'm into it. Yeah, she's a charming nut job.
Yeah. Hanjay.
They pronounce it differently, so like from episode to episode. Sometimes it's Hanj, sometimes it's Hanji, sometimes it's Hanzi with like a Z sound.
Hanj.
It's Hanj. Yeah, that's what I said, but they pronounce it differently in so many different episodes, especially across the different dubs.
Okay. I'll have to check that.
Especially in the English dub, it seems they pronounce it like 4 different ways.
Oh,
so
really?
It's so fucking confusing.
I'm watching I'm watching it in. Wait, is the English dub out? I'm watching it in Japanese.
Not for season 4. I mean, I think the first episode or 2 is out, but I've been watching the Japanese dub for season 4 just because it's further along. Yeah. Watch the first 3 seasons in English, though.
Okay, yeah.
Which is they do a good job with the dub.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've watched it in Japanese, so I don't know the English dub.
Even in the Japanese dub, it seems to change depending on how hard they're yelling when they say the name.
Okay. I don't know.
Can't be the only person having that problem.
I'm gonna go back out. I'll double check for you.
And it's not just her. It's especially all of the German names. Like, depending how German they're trying to say it at the time, it changes the pronunciation.
I like I said, I will go back and verify for you, because
yes,
it could be like this. It could be the Lisp thing. Like, you just need someone to double check this.
Yes, go back and whatever, man.
Have we even? What have we gotten into about this episode?
Sasha's death, because I feel like that's what everyone cares about.
Emotionally, that is the big thing that happened. Plot-wise, the big thing is finding out that Zeke is a co-conspirator. It's like the big twist of the episode.
Yeah, that was unexpected. I thought legit, me and you both thought he ate Zeke.
I mean, we'll see how they're planning to use, because whether they have Aaron eat Zeke or Zeke eat Aaron or whatever, or like
Zeke
I said,
can't eat Aaron.
Can
Remember,
tap into
this is
the
his
founding
last
Titan.
year.
What's up? Well, I mean, Aaron can tap into the founding Titan power as long as he's physically touching someone with royal blood, so they may not need to eat each other.
But Zeke only has 1 year, so Zeke
but how it depends on what the timeline for their they blew up the harbor to delay the inevitable attack on Paradis. So that was the point of Armin blowing up the harbor, is to cripple their navy so that the inevitable world attacking Paradis Island would be delayed to give them time to prepare.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know what the timeline for the whole final battle is going to be, though. So maybe Zeke has enough time that he doesn't need to be eaten necessarily, or at least not immediately.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think that's so. From what I understand,
Zeke would have to remain alive because they need his royal blood to tap into the founding Titan power, unless they want to use Historia.
Well, they could use Historia because we don't even know what's happening on Paradise.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen. I hopefully we'll get into it in the next episode to find out what happened during the time gap. But it seems like that's what it's going to be. It's going to be more about because Helena was narrating the preview for the next episode. The chick with the bowl cut who's a follower of Zeke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't even recognize the voice. Also,
well, I mean, she doesn't talk a lot, so it's kind of hard to tell. I only really knew because of the subtitles.
Oh. So yeah, no. I want to say.
Gabby killed Sasha. Gabby spouted, Fox News quotes. Gabby denied the Holocaust, even though it didn't happen in her universe. So she kind of had a point. It's she just seems like a bad person.
Yeah. Also,
she said that. Well, I mean, I heard that Gabby said that the explosion on the harbor was caused by Jewish space lasers. So there's that. That just
despite the fact that she's a Jew.
I mean, within the universe. I mean.
Oh no! Yeah, no. The parallels are very strong. The manga goes out of its way. The manga goes out of its way to show you the parallels.
It's a little more explicit.
Well, I think the anime is explicit as well, but the manga goes out of its way to say this is World War II. We are talking about World War II.
It is. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I mean, there's a difference between it being obvious and outright stating it.
Oh yeah, no, it outright states.
You guys get that these guys are supposed to be Jews, right? Wink, wink. All right, now we're all caught up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go watch.
It outright states it because it seems like this world isn't much different from our world. So Asians still exist. Ackermans still exist. In the anime and in the manga, do you remember when Kenny is talking to his father?
Yeah, on the deathbed.
Yeah, he remembers that the only people who were opposed to royal blood were the Ackermans and the Asian. Yeah. And then we find out, because I'm rereading this right now, they're talking about the Middle East and their expansions, and some of the wording is different, but it's the same vibe or message that technology is rising at an unprecedented rate. But
I kind of appreciate that in fictional worlds like these, where they have a direct analog like that. Like I said, I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and just keeping the geography and the lore straight in my head, all the different factions, is just, it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
If I could get like in my head, it's like, okay, these guys are like British and these guys are like, Chinese or whatever.
You're
It would
like,
help
this is
me
where
keep it straight in my head.
the analog is pretty much one to, yeah. It also goes into detail. I don't know. I have to rewatch the anime again, but when they start talking about Grisha and like he's in the underground, they actually give a book in the manga, at least. They give you like 4 pages of the book of Ymir and the Holy Land and the whole story behind it with illustrations and
they go a little bit to some detail at the end of season 3 about the history and lore of Ymir and Eldians. But I think it would be easier to process if I saw it written down like that.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing, is because there's a lot of, again, I like rereading the manga has led me to like look at the anime in a different light, and I don't know where the anime is headed. It's all speculation. I have obviously not caught up.
I definitely don't have any real predictions for where it's going.
But as far as I can tell, at least from the history of Ymir and all of the gods and all the power and stuff like that, from what I understand, she tapped into a resource, and they have these things called coordinates. And the Attack on Titan is the primary coordinate through time and space. This is what's said from when the guy is talking to Grisha before he tows him off the wall. He says that the Attack on Titan is the primary coordinate, and it acts as a place in time and space to where all the other Titans, like kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender style, like the Avatar is the most recent reincarnation of all of the predecessors, but it could still tap into that lineage.
Okay, yeah, no, I got that. They explained that in the anime.
Okay.
Connected through sort of this ethereal kind of thread.
Yeah, but they also say in the manga that this is what the biological scholars suggest. They don't know if it's true or not. This is all theory. This is all just studies that we've done that we think are correct.
I mean, it's hard to deny the anecdotal proof, just like observing its effects in the world.
Yeah. So
there's not a lot of other explanations for other shit that's going on.
They also said that it's a theory that if one of them dies, they'll just they'll be sent somewhere throughout the system of coordinates that are laid out and
be reborn as another Eldian.
Yeah,
which I think we covered last week.
We did, but I wanted to stress that they keep saying these are theories, and one of the things that I keep finding while reading the manga is every time they have a theory, it always ends up being half true.
Yeah, that's true. They do sort of subvert,
so that's what I'm thinking is I'm wondering if there's, because they said that the Ackermans were biological experiments done in the beginnings when Titans first.
Remember last week and I said don't spoil shit like that?
Oh yeah. Well, no, but it's in the manga. It's in Kenny's story.
Not in the anime.
Are you sure?
Not expressly stated.
Okay.
It's sort of it's said that Ackermans were royal guards basically who pledged fealty to the king, and that whole betrayal.
Okay,
thing.
Then I won't say anymore
because the whole scientific experiment element was not expressly stated in the anime, at least not yet.
He doesn't say sermon. When he's talking to Kenny, he's talking about, because he remembers everything before the walls, but he says even my memories of it are fuzzy because I was just a kid when we came, but we do come from the outer of the wall. He talks in length about a lot of stuff.
Hey, Kenny says all this?
No, his father says it to him. This is what Kenny's thinking of when he's dying before he hands the serum over to.
Okay, I don't think that this happened in the anime.
Okay, because
least
this is
not
all
in this
happening
level
while
of
he's
detail.
talking to Levi. So Levi's seeing him dead at the tree, and they just recaptured Aaron and Historia, and he's all like,
Okay, well, yeah, I don't think it goes into the amount of detail that you're saying from the manga.
okay, all right. So this must be
Talking about
okay.
how the actions were experiments.
Yeah,
That
he doesn't
definitely
say
did
he
not
doesn't
come
say
up.
anything about. So he just says that they were the royal guards and stuff like that. From
Well, that was stated. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so never mind then. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'll wait till you read the manga. But yeah, but there's like I said, it paints the whole the whole entire anime in a different kind of light for me because again, it's pretty much 1-to-1 from what I can tell. I guess there's a little bit more detail.
Yeah.
I almost want to rewatch that episode because I'm like reading stuff like this and I'm wondering how because it feels 1-to-1. It really does. It feels like because I watched the anime first. Like
I definitely need to start reading the manga and catch up. But
yeah, if you read at a very
Yeah.
brisk pace, like if you read at a very
apparently, if I just really commit to it, I can get through it pretty quickly.
yeah, I mean it
Just
only
need
took
to-
me a week to get this far. So and I wasn't like reading. I was reading maybe like 3 hours a day. So
I think I want to wait for the anime, especially if the anime is going to wrap up at the end of these 16 episodes.
I don't
I'll
know
wait.
because I'm looking. I looked on the Wikipedia to see how far ahead, and there are only 12 episodes ahead. Where are the other
There's-
4 episodes?
There's supposed to be 16 total, or
But they only have 12 listed.
on the Wikipedia. Well, I think those are just the ones that have had their episode titles revealed so far. There was an order of 16 episodes from, that's what it was officially said the season's length was going to be.
I'm just wondering if those last 4 episodes are gonna, if they're gonna do like a pause, and then the last 4 episodes are gonna be like.
If it seems like there's going to have to be like a movie or a second half of season 4,
'Cause that's
gonna
what they
come
did
later
with
in the
season
year
3.
or next year. Yeah, if it seems like they're going to do that, I think I'll go ahead and just read the manga real quick. Otherwise, I think I'll wait for the anime to wrap up, especially if it's just going to wrap up in another month or 2 here.
It ends in March
Yeah,
or April, I should say, because
watch
episode
that,
12
and then I'll
goes
go
into
back
March.
and then I'll just go back and read the manga, and then I can see how it's different.
Yeah, because April. Well, actually, now that I think about it, because there's 8 episodes. No, 9 episodes left. No, 8 episodes left.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, episode 8 is what just aired, so
the 8th,
they're 8.
the 16th,
4 weeks in a month, so about 2 months.
about 2 months. That's almost near April 9th when when the manga ends.
Exactly, they're gonna be wrapping up about the same time.
Yeah.
So
no, I
I
thought
can-
the anime was going to end a lot sooner. Sorry.
And so I'm gonna just wait, see the anime, and then do the whole manga in one, binge.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, no, the anime is whoo, shit.
It's intense.
Yeah. So yeah, for I guess with Zeke's whole reveal though, he kind of talks. There's the part where he's killing Erwin, and you see him starting to have flashbacks and become very upset, and then he asks himself, why am I losing control? Why are they making me so upset? What's going on? You also see that I don't know if, tell me if this happens in the anime or not. I don't remember it happening, but I could be wrong. Zeke and Reiner fight before they do the attack on and try to kidnap Aaron.
Yeah, they do. They have sort of a duel to decide whose course of action, because Reiner wants to go back and get Annie.
Yes.
He loses the duel, so they have to go with Zeke's plan.
So in the anime, it's not that he just wants to go back and get Annie. He starts having regrets about who he is, and he kind of doesn't want to go back. to the mainland. Um, he doesn't want to.
Understandable. I mean, it sucks over there.
Yeah.
I complained about that last week. It was like, why does Reiner keep shilling for these assholes?
Because do you remember in when he kidnapped Aaron the first time with Ymir? He had a split personality. His mind broke and developed two personalities and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he's two assholes.
Yeah. Well, he has that whole entire crisis and stuff like that. So Berthold has the same thing as well. He right before he tries to kill Armin.
He has a crisis of faith. His personality doesn't shatter in two like Reiner's does.
Yeah. Well, he actually breaks his faith. He says no one's at fault. He says that no one's wrong, and he doesn't believe that they are devils. He just believes that he's in a crappy world.
Well, but that's kind of like one of the points of the series is that, in war, like, both sides are kind of fucked up. Like, nobody is 100% in the right.
Yeah. He just says, all he says is, I have a duty to commit to in this crappy world. He says, you guys are not devils. You guys are not the bad guys. You guys are not wrong. It just sucks that we have to do what we have to do because we're told what we have to do, because everything else is meaningless and there is no value to anything. Pretty pessimistic, but again, that's the whole purpose.
Yeah, well, it's hard to be optimistic about war.
Yeah.
For being fair.
Yeah. So he goes into you see Zeke starting to do that, and then you see right before when he fails and stuff like that, and he trails off to come back, because I believe they find everything in the basement, and then they want to go out to the sea and stuff like that. Zeke says, I promise I will come save you, Aaron, before we jump to this future where we're at. And they talk about how they went back there. There was a fleet.
Yeah, they sent scout ships, which were apparently contained Zeke loyalists who went to go sort of recruit Aaron for this plan.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like they came back 3 years ago.
Weird bowl cut chick was.
Yeah, so he was gone for a year.
Been there
he came
multiple
back 3
years
years ago. And there was no surviving fleets. Like, all of the fleets had died, except for Zeke's fleet that came back. And then you also see that Peak in this recent episode. So, like, I've recognized that face somewhere, and I don't know where.
Yeah.
And then we find out that it was on Zeke's fleet that came back from the scouting mission. I'm trying to remember who, because it cut so fast, and I was watching it when the sun was out, so I couldn't grab all the detail or faces, and like, so I might have to watch the episode again. But was it Armin, or who was the one with the beard, or was it John? Who was the soldier that got the two?
Helena.
Helena
or Yelena or whatever, however it's pronounced. She's new this season. She's the one I've been talking about. She's Zeke's like loyal lackey, basically, and she's the one that's on the airship with them. Pulls off the fake beard. She has like a blonde bowl cut.
Yeah. Oh, so she's new?
Yeah. She's not from the previous seasons at all.
Oh, okay. The reason I say that is because Peak makes a point to say that I've never recognized this soldier ever, or I didn't trust this soldier at all, but that doesn't really line up if you think about that they came back on Zeke's fleet and was a soldier then.
She said that she was interested in them.
Oh.
But she didn't realize where they remembered them from until after the fact.
Okay. Yeah, because again, I haven't caught like. Okay, so yeah, I have to rewatch the anime because I watched it once. I probably should have watched it twice. I also watched it when sunlight was coming through my room, so it was like the projector was really bad.
Yeah, I know what your TV setup is like, but what it seems like is Zeke had like a constant crisis of faith, basically at the end of season 3, and he sent his people loyal to him to Paradies to get Aaron on board with, hey, let's team up and fuck up the world.
Yeah.
And one of those people was the bowl cut person, the blonde one.
Okay, but it looks like Zeke. Because I'm wondering how much effect the founding, because Aaron has the founding titan inside of him, right? And it's been shown that he can actually access the memories. He doesn't always have to touch someone of the royal family.
Well, he does to activate his powers to use the coordinate to control titans.
That is true. But to access the past memories, he just needs a trigger. This is true when he's locked up in jail and he starts remembering his father's memories and his and the person who before his father,
that thing for me, it's kind of nebulous. Like, it's not really expressly explained how they can tap into that and what experiencing it is like.
So the way I see, and this isn't really spoilers because I don't know if they talk about it in the anime, but they do give a little bit more context to it. So when Aaron has the key to the basement,
yeah,
his father says, "When you look at this key, you will remember this memory, and I need you to do these." And he gives him directions, and then all of a sudden the memory cuts out.
Yeah, that's.
And it seems like certain things trigger it, too. But they don't know where they come from.
It seems more like a hypnosis thing. Like, he hypnotized him. She's like, you're going to forget all this until you see this key to trigger you to remember it. And but even that, how? Like,
I just know that's how it works. Like, for example, when he's having
maybe because he had the founding Titan's power, he inherited some of their memory manipulation shit.
From what I understand,
super big.
He says it's the guy who had it before Grisha, the soldier. Before Grisha got it, then it passed on to Aaron. He says that in theory, like the attacking Titan has always paved the way forward and looked to the future. And he says that he has memories, but he can't distinguish the memories from he can't distinguish his memories for whose memories are whose. Like, for example, when he's saying Aaron, Mikasa, if you want to say Mikasa, Armin, and Hanj and all these people, you have to do these things and stuff like that. And Grish is like, who's that? He's like, I don't know whose memories these are, but I know.
Okay, so I think that plays into the whole the coordinate thing where the Titans are linked across time and space.
Well,
which adds an interest, like a whole nother layer, is that when the Titans, like if someone dies without inheriting, without passing on that power, and someone else gets born with that Titan, it doesn't necessarily happen like in like a linear time sense. Like, whoever inherits it next might be in the future or in the past, but they'll inherit memories from the future.
Yes,
basically the spirit of the Shifter Titan sort of quantum leaps.
Well, I mean, look at Ymir. She was 60. She's from the 60 years in the past.
Yeah, but she was filling around as a Titan for the time. She didn't time travel.
No, she didn't time travel.
She just she was basically in stasis.
Yes.
She went into she got buried, and because she wasn't exposed to sunlight, she went into a hibernative state.
Well,
I'm saying if Aaron dies, without someone eating him, the attack Titan next person who's born with the Attack Titan could be born like 100 years in the past, but they'll have Aaron's memories from the future.
Yes. Well, I wanted to tap. So these are two things that I wanted to tap into. One was Ymir, because her whole 60-year thing, she said, I'm the only one who knew the truth. She was actually, like, I looked at some of her flashbacks when reading the manga. It looks like she is from the land where Grisha is from, but like 60 years in the past.
Yeah,
because she showed like her
when she
part
was,
of her memory was thrown down that wall into the sand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that same thing that was going to happen to Grisha happened to her, and like they, stranded her on Paradise and turned her into Titan.
Yeah.
Then she like got buried under some rubble and went into hibernative state for 60 years.
Yeah. The other thing is
what I'm saying is that there's time travel shenanigans. People can inherit memories from the future, and basically it acts as a sort of prophecy or,
like this is what's going to happen,
whatever.
And I think this is the best course of action to make it happen.
Well, I mean, then that plays into a sort of cause and effect thing. Is that future set, or can you change and therefore like prevent a future you remember? Someone else. It depends on how they handle time travel, which I don't think has been established necessarily.
No, it's been hinted at a lot.
Of it because
it's constantly hinted at.
Yeah, it's hinted at, and it's interesting. I just it'll be interesting to see how much of that plays into Valley or whatever.
Yeah,
and so I wonder if Kruger inherited. Where did Kruger get it? I don't remember if he stated exactly where he got the Titan from. Someone along that line going back must have inherited the Attack Titan after Aaron dies without passing it on.
Wait, who, what, when, where, why?
The fact that Kruger knows Armin and Mikasa's name.
Oh, the soldier.
At some point, Aaron dies without passing on the Attack Titan, and then it is reborn in the past.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, that's kind of like what's the other explanation?
I mean, he could also transcend time.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let me wait. The reason, okay, let me explain this a little bit. So Pac, right? Or what's his name? His real name? It begins with a G.
Galliard.
What's the chick's name? Peak or Pike? Yeah, it's only hinted at in the manga. There's a lot of like the coordinate
in the anime too. Like with Kruger, Kruger has inherited memories of Mikasa and Armin and everyone.
Yeah.
Like they say that the whole coordinate thing when a Titan dies without passing on their powers, someone else is born with that Titan powers and memories.
So what if it's like a branch through space and time, and
if Aaron has to die at some point without passing on the Titan, and then that Attack Titan is reborn in the past, like however many years before it got to Kruger.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way he can know, Armin and Mikasa's name years before they're born.
That's not true.
No, yes it is.
No, because Pac says when talking to Reiner about the memories of the people before him and all that other stuff, he says, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm just getting these certain types of memory. Like he goes in he's like, I'm just at Ymir's memories, and he takes a look and he's like, I'm at the point where you are at the training camp. It looks like you're trying to be so reliable. And he says, Kruger
remembers stuff from the future.
Yeah, but Kruger also says that the Attack Titan is the coordinate Titan that always moves forward, and that he always looks to the future, and that he's always sought out the future and pushed on ahead, despite.
Sense, like
despite everything. So I'm wondering if maybe that was like
is in a literal sense that the Attack Titan just has future prophecy powers.
I mean,
and if so, I think it's less interesting than the other theory that the Titan rebirth inheritance thing doesn't happen in a linear sense. Like it can be reincarnated earlier in timeline.
I think both could be true.
Arcturian, does the Attack Titan have prophecy magic? Settle it.
Are you asking? Do you really want to know?
Just a simple yes or no would clear that up.
Yeah,
I mean, don't spoil anything more than that. But if it turns out that the Attack Titan can just see the future,
I think he can.
Such weirdly personal future details.
Well, because they say he's the primary coordinate, right?
Fine, don't.
Yeah, it would be a spoiler. Well, okay, here's my thing. Here's my basis for this theory. The fact that throughout what seems to be the latter half of season 1, season 2, season 3,
it's either that
I think the Attack Titan is the only one who can do this because he is the primary coordinate. He is the center for all Titans.
No, hold on. I'm trying to express a point, but I keep getting interrupted.
Sorry. Express your point.
The thing is, it's either that thing where the Titans, a rebirth happens in a non-linear fashion in accordance with the time stream, or that all the people over the course of a timeline who inherit a Titan at a certain point are connected and share memories that way.
That would be interesting.
While you have the Titan, you are connected to their memories, not only of the people who have had it before you, but the ones who have it after you as well.
I mean, yeah, that would make sense. But I'm thinking the Attack Titan is the only one who can do that because he's the primary coordinate. And I think only of royal blood can you do it. I think the one who has so Eren doesn't have royal blood, so he can't
conflating the Attack Titan and the Founding Titan in that analogy.
Yeah, but I think the Founding Titan, even though Eren has the Founding Titan, he's still not of royal blood, so he can't control or tap into his future memories.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Arcturian, is that he's confusing the Attack Titan and the Founding Titan, and the whole memory power thing with the royal bloodline is so vague and
I don't know. I'm speculating here. I always assumed that it had to do with the bloodline,
and also that they all have memory powers, and also that no one keeps questioning all these new false memories they have as they're discussing how these people have memory manipulation powers. That was a problem I had with season 3. Is they're going into this guy can rewrite your memories. It's and then they're like, oh, you know what? Now I remember this other thing. It's
yeah, no, I mean,
questioning that shit.
So for me, I know the Founding Titan can alter memories, but I thought the Attack Titan was the primary coordinate, and so the Attack Titan can because they're
the Founding Titan is the primary coordinate,
not the Attack Titan.
Yeah, that's why the Founding Titan was the one they were going after. That's why that's the focus of the whole everything. It's just kind of a coincidence that the Attack Titan and Founding Titan are inherited by the same person currently, or embodied by the same person.
Okay, I might have to revise my stuff because the way I'm mapping it out in my head, the way Kruger laid it out, it makes me feel like if you have royal blood and you have the Attack Titan. You can look into the future.
If you have royal blood and you have the Founding Titan, you can control Titans.
But I'm not talking about controlling Titans. I'm talking about seeing the future and seeing the past and having control over those memories.
The Attack Titan, I think when they say about looking to the future, there's saying more like he's a vanguard, like he's the front lines, he's the spear point for the Titan army.
Okay, so maybe your theory is right, where all the Titans can go to the primary coordinate and have access to those memories.
They're all connected through the primary coordinate. What I'm saying is maybe the way the memory thing works is that they can also access memories of future people holding it, because the whole, they explained that whole like tether coordinate thing exists across time and space.
Yes, they do say that. Or at least that's the theory they have from the scholars at whatever Grisha's from. Marlowe or Marlian. Marlian biologists or philosophers suggest this theory. So I'm expanding off that theory as well. I don't know.
It's either that or the time travel nonsense that, well, I find that personally satisfying. The more I talk about it, the more insane it seems. I'd be into it, but I think the second explanation we settled on is a little more feasible.
The one with
just connected through the coordinate, they can tap into the memories of other people, of all the people.
But you find it less interesting, right?
Are connected to the Titan, not just the ones previous to them.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I like, again, this was just speculation.
I mean, we don't know because it hasn't wrapped up yet. So, or
been explained or anything.
Tyrion seems to have more information than we do, so maybe it has been established.
I don't know.
He said he didn't want to spoil.
I mean, I'm personally going to read the manga up until the anime.
Because I want to read the manga. Next week's episode every
Yeah.
Tuesday. We're going to discuss the new episode.
Yep.
And I'm going to try to catch up on the manga. Justice is just about caught up on his.
Yeah.
Knocked out like 90 chapters of it in a week.
I'm on chapter 93, 98. No, chapter 98. I'm almost to 100. I'm so close. I want to, so like for me, I'm not going to read the whole manga because I don't want to spoil the anime for myself. So for me, I just want to read the manga and the anime side by side.
Alphabetically by chapter title and see if that makes it more confusing.
No, the chapter titles on here are actually 1-to-1 for the anime.
I'm saying it's like I'm going to break down the title of each chapter, and then I'm going to list them alphabetically in whatever order that is, and that's how I'm going to read them, and I'm going to be super fucking confused.
Are you serious? What if you spoil it for yourself, like you read the last chapter first?
It's going to be really bad because, you know, people are going to keep dying and coming back, and and I'm definitely not going to be able to see Sasha's death coming that way.
Because she'll be dead, but you won't see her coming back to life.
Then she'll be dead again. It's got to be a bit of a roller coaster. Yeah, I need to. Just been so busy. I've been playing Fire Emblem. That's taking up a lot of time. I got Last of Us Part 2. I've been working on that today.
Have you played Spider-Man yet? I gave you that game.
No. I'll probably play that after Last of Us.
Okay. As long as it's
on my list. I got a backlog. Still, I need.
We all have a backlog.
Fire Emblem again.
Eat them.
Yeah, I know. I like to whine and complain.
I know. And we'll find out if we're
none. My two predictions last week were that Sasha was going to die and that Aaron was going to fuck up that thing with the Jaw Titan. Both of which came true. But they're both so obvious that I don't feel good about predicting them.
And I was hoping that they weren't going to do... I knew Sasha was going to die. But I was hoping
that was so telegraphed, but it still hurt so much.
But I was hoping that Reiner was going to fail.
He kind of did. He clearly wasn't trying.
I don't think he wanted to. Let's be real here.
It seemed like he wanted Aaron to kill him.
Yeah.
Aaron sort of took pity and just like, I'm not going to bother with him.
Yeah. It's like, you have your win. Although that kick from Levi at the very beginning, I was so confused when that happened. I was like, wait, what?
That's like half of Levi's character is beating the shit out of Aaron.
I know, but it's so confused because like I saw this and they're like, Aaron did something, and then he's all like, but it was so confusing for me because he's all like, you did the mission, you succeeded in the mission.
Fucking World War with their homeland as the main target. That's what he did.
I know, but he's all like, I explained everything in my letters, and I'm like, cool, but like, what the hell happened? Because like it seems like everyone's all like, We didn't want to do this.
Hopefully, we'll
we
get
did
into
it
that
as
next week where they explain, because we haven't gotten a lot of what happened with the Survey Corps over the 5-year gap.
4-year.
4-year? Okay, what? Sorry,
So,
I've been
Aaron
playing
has
Fire
3 more
Emblem,
years
and there's a 5-year gap in that game, so my mind's there.
No, Aaron has 3 more years to live. Zeke has 1 more year. Armin has, because there's a year after that, after he got the thing called, it was a year, and then the 4-year gap. So Armin has 8 years.
He's
left.
about 9 years, 8 or 9.
Yeah, Armin has 8 years left. Because after he got the Colossus Titan, a year passed by before they went to the ocean, and then 4 years.
Oh yeah, that's
passed
right. Because
by
they had to reclaim.
Until we're
okay.
At the
Yeah, I forgot about that year gap in between, finding the port and the last battle.
Yeah. So there was a year because they rebuild. They explain how they rebuild. They got the farms back.
Yeah, they had to retake the land and
and then they said that like after a year, can you believe it? After a year, we're gonna see the ocean and find everything. Isn't this crazy? And Hans is all like, I never thought it would actually happen, but we did it. We actually did it.
Yep.
And oh shit.
What did you do? All right.
Nothing.
Sure.
Anyways. Yeah, so I guess all that's left is prediction, because like it's so confusing. I'm so confused. But like, Gene goes in. He's like, Sasha wouldn't have died if you didn't drag us all in it. So Aaron, I guess, dragged them into this.
Yeah, he didn't get permission to go off on this, little thing and start World War whatever.
But
he just kind of went off, and then eventually sent them letters, be like, "Hey, show up here to pick me up."
Yeah, but like Zeke also said, like Levi even goes to Zeke and says, "Is it everything that you hoped for? Is it everything that you had planned 3 years ago?" And I'm like, "Okay, so wait, which is it? Is it
both?
Is it the fact that like Aaron went off his own and did something crazy, or was it that it was planned 3 years ago? Which one is it?"
Well, it's hard to tell because we don't really know what the plan is.
Yeah, and also
they're
upset that they got dragged into it, but at the same time, obviously Aaron going down there and doing everything was part of the plan. What? So did Aaron act on his own, or did Aaron follow the plan?
It depends on what the plan was, but Acturian, we discussed that pretty much at length last week. Had a sort of a catch up where we went through the first however many episodes of season 4 to the previous one. It's whole indoctrination thing.
Yes.
Radicalization.
Yeah. We kind of go into it. I tried to go into it, but you shot me down so hard. You're like, I've seen enough war movies. I know this.
And I think we did a reasonably good job for people as dumb as we are.
Hey, speak for yourself. It is my job to actually do this kind of stuff. To think about this on a constant daily basis.
We we discussed it about as well as I think we could have. But it is that's the thing though, is this is something that exists in the world. Is that people are sort of indoctrinated to hate themselves and work against themselves.
Think about Arcturian, you said you're from
the direct parallel that they use for the series is World War II, and Hitler Youth, camps, turning in your neighbors. You get them while they're young. You radicalize them, indoctrinate them into your fucked up shit.
You can also look at Native Americans in America. The indoctrination they had, where a lot of Native Americans or a lot of Indian tribes kind of abandon their traditions in favorability of Christianity and indoctrinating their kids that way, to the point where a lot of Native Americans are kind of MAGA hat conservatives, but a lot of there's a few select Native Americans who actually keep the old ways of two spirits and one with the earth, and you see this kind of like sense in, or you can look at to like the current things of today. I mean, that is current of today, but that indoctrination kind of happened during the heyday of the American Revolution.
I get what you mean, though, where Actarian, where on a surface level, when you're like, well, why are you doing it for these assholes? They hate you. Why are you working for them? But then that's something I think season 4 has done well, is show through like Balco, Gabby, Udo, and what's her Zoe? What was the other one? Z?
Zoe.
Show how they take them when they're young and just sort of beat this zealotry into them.
You this religious,
you raise them, basically brainwash them from a young age to feed into a line of bullshit that serves the status quo.
Like, we can also look at the whole Black Lives Matter movement as it is right now and see the people who are black, who are going against it, of this evangelical faith, or who are of this certain group, and they come out and like they damn themselves. Like I hate to say her name, but like Candace Owens, she made a whole YouTube video, and I don't know if it exists anymore or not, but she made a whole YouTube video saying that black people were the devil reincarnated and that they were born to be slaves, and that they are just making up for the sins of their ancestors. That is a real thing today from a black woman who is a Trump supporter.
Definitely not the kind of content I watch on YouTube.
That is a real thing. And it kind of annoyed me, if I'm being honest, because that is so devoid of any fact or anything like that. And it is so, and it's like, it's not, she says, it's not self-hatred while criticizing her whole entire race.
Once they started bringing in the, like, religious element, like people are the devil or evil, naturally born evil, and they're not like making bad choices or whatever. It's kind of hard to argue with them because the whole system that they're preaching is so black and white. It doesn't allow for
any nuance, any
nuance or questioning. Just like if you ask any difficult or critical questions, you are evil, and the system's designed to exterminate those kind of thoughts.
It's the idea of the sky is blue because it's blue. Well, the sky is not always blue, but it's blue.
Is that a lot of this is just conjecture now, and I'm sure there are answers coming that hopefully will be satisfying. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. And also,
I hope you join us next week so we can talk about the next episode, because we will do that next Tuesday.
And to be honest, and to be honest, I am kind of interested in that subject. I mean, I know we talked about it last episode, but it is something that, like,
it's very relevant to today, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's hyper relevant to today. And you said it best last week, Adam. Like, you said that the issue is our issues have not changed for the past fucking 60 to 200 years.
Yeah, I was ripping on a tweet I saw that I liked where it said, The Simpsons didn't predict anything. We just haven't fixed any of our problems since 1989.
Yeah.
And
Adam's
got a point.
Yeah. Okay. Long dramatic pause. Sorry.
Yeah, no, my cats are chasing each other around the loop of my downstairs. So I just had to sort of turn around and wonder what they were doing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I highly recommend watching the VOD on that last episode. I might edit it tonight and upload it on YouTube just so it's easily accessible.
I watched a couple of minutes just to refresh myself a little bit.
But
wanted to be fresh. And do you have any predictions for next week? Because I honestly have no fucking, like, I had a couple little story beats that I figured were going to happen, like the Sasha and
I'm hoping we get an explanation.
Yeah. I literally, especially since this next one seems to be going back into the time jump to kind of explain what was going on back in Paradise.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was in the preview, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So I
And
think
obviously
that's what
they'll
it's
be
gonna.
mourning Sasha.
Here's what I think is gonna happen, at least in the next episode. Like I've already told you my prediction for the whole anime. I think everyone has to die. If not, I think at the very least, Armin has to die, Mikasa has to die. And I think
Levi is definitely
either
gonna
Eren
die.
is going
That
to
seems
rule
pretty
over
obvious.
all of them, or they all are going to die, and it's going to be Falco who pushes forward. I feel like Gabby is going to die, only for the sense that in the recent episode that we watched right now, Falco talks to Gabby. There's a lot of hints of Reiner saying you have to protect her, but Gabby seems like Eren in the sense that she moves forward without thinking. So maybe she will survive and everyone around her will die, or maybe she's gonna die because she's not like Eren in that sense. I don't know.
I mean, with this anime, betting anyone's gonna die is a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
Nobody's safe.
Yeah. What's the picture down below where size Instagram for me? What?
Is there a link to your Instagram account on your Twitch page? I don't have it pulled up.
I don't think so. I think if you want it to my Instagram, you just exclamation mark Instagram. I think anyone can do that, but Bohab, if you want to do that.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I shoot. There it is. I'm thinking, shoot, for the next episode, I think we're gonna get a split. I think we're gonna get a flashback, but it's not gonna be a deep flashback. It's gonna take about maybe 5 to 10 minutes of the episode, and then we're gonna be in the present.
Okay. I would love if they talked and had a conversation about what the hell's going on. I definitely need that.
I think we all do.
The previews for the last few episodes have all been so misleading, like so brief, but like the last week's preview.
I think that's the point.
It's all about
the previews always have been kind of like that.
The Attack Titan. Yeah, but like I think they're doing it on purpose as an act of trickery.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about anime right now. What do you think? Do I like cartoons?
We're huge nerds.
We're huge nerds. Gravity Falls, Star vs. the Forces of Evil. I think Gravity Falls is still my favorite. I love Star vs. the Forces of Evil though. And I know you watched that. We never got to talk about that actually.
Yeah, it was solid. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But okay, so predictions for Attack on Titan.
I think we kind of missed the opportunity to talk about it. Like I've forgotten a lot of that show.
No, it's okay. It was a solid show.
It was good, and I enjoyed it. But
it was a long time ago. I just remembered that.
It was a while ago.
I want to say
I
over
watched
a
it on
year.
your recommendation, and thank you for that.
I think it was at least 2 years. Because it was back when I visited
probably.
you. And I visited you back in like...
Yeah, so a year and a half-ish.
2019?
Yeah, so it's been a while.
It's been a while. In terms of favorite cartoons, I don't know. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Gravity Falls, those are solid. I don't have a favorite. I mean, I have favorites. Like, I have ones that I really like, but I couldn't compare them. I love narrative-driven shows, though. Obviously. Okay, so your prediction for Attack on Titan... I mean, I think we both have the same prediction. It's going to be a cooldown. So I guess going a little deeper into it.
I mean, I hope it is, just because I need them.
I think Gabby and Falco are going to join. Because they wouldn't live otherwise. They have to join. I feel like Falco might join full-heartedly. Gabby might have some misgivings about it.
Well, it's just sort of remains to be seen
They
Like,
won't live otherwise.
she idolizes Zeke in such a way. So depending on what kind of conversation the two of them have, I think it's going to really be dependent on how things go forward. Because I think if anyone could convince Gabby that, like, hold on, like, you got this shit wrong, it would be Zeke.
Yeah. I mean, everyone idolizes Zeke. He's the Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
So I think that Gabby and Falco are gonna join Aaron's side.
Falco just definitely seems more likely than Gabby in that respect. He just murdered everybody's favorite person in front of everybody, so
Yeah.
how they would come to the Survey Corps would come to terms with that is difficult to say the least.
Well, to be fair, they're
they're
done it in
definitely
the
prisoners
past.
now. They're not gonna like.
I mean, look
Awesome
at
out of
Levi and Zeke. Like Levi wants to kill Zeke, but he's going along with
And
it.
he's going to. He definitely is going to at some point. There's got to be a comeuppance there.
Oh no. Levi seems like he's
The only reason Levi won't end up killing Zeke is if he dies first.
Okay.
Or somebody kills Zeke before Levi can get to him.
I mean, I don't think Levi would do that because remember, if Zeke dies,
He's not going to
they lose the Beast Titan.
Yeah, he's not going. Yeah, I mean, Levi's not gonna like put his selfish desire. He wants to, but he's not gonna do it in such a way that fucks up, things for charities to the Survey Corps. He's not like Aaron in that respect. But once he finds the opportunity to kill Zeke.
Don't say that when Echo is here.
fuck up
Echo will
the
lose his
plans.
shit. Echo loves Aaron.
Yeah, but Aaron's an impulsive asshole who
He is.
constantly like.
Oh, to answer your
everything
question
up.
from earlier. Yeah, he is that he's still that impulsive and whiny. It's just better explained in the manga, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, because for the whole
you get
first
to
half
see
of
his
season
thought
3,
process.
it's like, what the hell happened to him?
Well, he cut. So you know how Reiner went through a mental breakdown? Aaron kind of goes through the same mental breakdown as well.
It does, but it's just it's so like out of character because like every other part of every season he's a completely different person. But that whole first half of season 3, he's like, being alive is hard.
Yeah.
People are mean to me. Yeah, Octarian, I love clues.
Sure. I think
like Colonel
also what's
Mustard
going to
and shit.
happen in the prior is that Aaron and Historia like touch hands, something accesses them, and that's what kicks off Aaron to start this whole thing. Zeke tries to do it, but he fails once again. And Aaron and Historia show Zeke the truth, I guess. Or Aaron and Zeke touch, because they haven't touched hands yet. If Aaron and Zeke touch hands, since Zeke is of royal blood, maybe he sees the
Should
truth.
be able to tap into the founding Titan. Yeah.
You ever
watch Guilty
What is
Crown? Nope. Apparently, it's some kind of spoiler or clue.
I don't know what Guilty Crown is.
I've only ever watched the show Frasier, so if you could frame it up that way.
That's our clue. Have we watched Guilty Crown? That makes no sense! Which, I'm grateful for. That's how a clue should be.
I think I'm gonna have to just let that clue go. Like, part of me wants to Google it and kind of go down that rabbit hole, but since it doesn't immediately ring a bell, I think I'm just gonna have to wait and see how it plays out.
Yeah. Ren and Stimpy was always great, but I mean, I don't know. I look at old cartoons from back in the day, and I'm like
that original run, like the early run of the '90s, Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
And like they did that reboot in the 2000s that wasn't very good.
I mean, if I had to choose a cartoon from that era, it would be Daria.
Oh, Daria.
Yeah. I'm gonna let that clue go too. But I think what's gonna happen is that's like Zeke has shown the truth somehow. Because before this, he wasn't on board with any of this. So I think Zeke has his mind he gets woke, y'all. Zeke gets woke.
Well, he definitely had a crisis of faith, and that's why he collaborated or, whatever, co-conspirator with Aaron in this whole big thing.
But I'm thinking it's either
but
Historia
he would have
and
to
Aaron.
have some kind of realization to have gone this far with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying is how did he have that realization? Maybe he touched Aaron.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, because I'm reading the manga. Zeke is never in contact with Aaron, not even once. The only time he actually is in contact with him is when he's talking to him. He says, "I will save you," but that's when he's like limbless and about to be killed by Levi. So he doesn't. The Beast Titan never has one interaction with Aaron, and it's when he's running away saying, "I will save you," and then we jump to this current and where we're at right now.
And so we'll see what interaction they had that 3 years ago when the expedition, the Helena and all that.
Yeah, because remember there was the time when they're all getting the medals of awards for defeating the Beast Titan and stuff like that from Historia.
Yeah, and Historia touched Aaron, and he tapped into some memories and stuff.
But so did Historia. Both Historia and Aaron memorized everything.
I guess I didn't remember that she also got something off of that.
Because she does that. She also gets that. Remember when Rod Reese has Historia touch Aaron, she starts remembering all Frida and everything happened as well.
Did that happen?
Yeah. Like that happened in the anime. It happened as well. I know that for a fact.
No. I know, we saw it, but did that actually happen?
Yes, because Historia says, "I can't." That's what convinces Historia to eat.
Finish my fucking point before you contradict me. God damn it!
Sorry. I'm excited.
Those real memories, or were they false ones? There by mustache asshole guy who has the ability to implant false memories in everyone.
Oh. Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. But my thing is
one of my problems with that whole arc. Everybody keeps having these implanted memories and not questioning them at all, even though it's been established this guy can fuck with your memories.
Yeah, that's right. Well, no, but my thing is
about Frida and all that stuff could be bullshit. It could be implanted nonsense to Inception, Historia, and Aaron and whatever to get them on board with Historia eating Aaron. It could be complete bullshit, and the guy died before he could reveal it.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So, I don't know if we can trust those flashbacks / memories.
Yeah, but that wasn't my point. My point was the fact that Zeke has royal blood and they can access those memories. Whether they're false or not, it could still change Zeke's mind. Because both Historia and when Aaron touches Historia and Historia touches Aaron, they both have the same flashback.
It'll be interesting to see not only if Zeke and Aaron how they interact and connect, but whether or not Historia and Zeke come into contact and what that would be like.
Yeah, see, and that's my thing. It's like, what if Zeke, Aaron, and Historia all came and have this thing? Also, I want to point out that at least in the manga, I'm not 100% sure in the anime. Again, I'd have to rewatch it. But in the manga, when Aaron has these memory lapses, like when he's all of a sudden transforms and becomes as they say, why are you staring out to space and mumbling to yourself? He transforms into another person, or he starts talking out loud, and they say, what do you mean this, and this? And Aaron's like, what? What are you talking about? And she's like,
he got lost in whatever memory he was channeling.
Yeah.
It's happened a couple times.
They go in, the manga at least goes into great length to verify these memories. And they say, well, it looks like this is true, or it looks like this is what it seems to be, or it's like this evidence matches up with his memories so far based off what we know. This is all the evidence we have. This is what Aaron's memory is, and it looks like it lines up almost identically. Although there's a few plot holes that they have questions, and they ask those questions but never give answers until later in the manga. And it's kind of still like I've only read so far, so like I don't know. They still have questions about this. The manga definitely asks a lot of questions. So like they do have a way of checking to see if the memories, or at least the information in the memories, not the memories themselves, are false or not. But it seems like the only way the memories can be altered is if the person who wills it alters them. But it seems like Historia kind of like has a gate against that. Like she doesn't have a gate from her memories being altered, but she doesn't want to alter anyone's memory.
Definitely
she's like actively trying to get the
she
truth.
definitely had her memories altered so that she would remember the previous owner of the founding Titan fondly.
Yeah, but there was
those
a point.
Were all bullshit, made up memories.
Yeah,
and she definitely got manipulated that way.
She did, but also she got a lot of her what is considered her real memories back. Remember, she found out that her sister actually went crazy at Historia, and Historia's like, "How did I forget all of this? How did I forget the fact that she was like she became a completely insane person?" When Eren and Historia touch without Rod Reese. So there are like through Eren's memories and through Historia's memories, Historia can access her real memories without the manipulation of the
as long as she's connected to the founding Titan
through Eren, because Eren is not of royal blood, so he is able to access just the memories without the influence of the king or the people who have altered her memories.
Okay, so when they touch, he gets access to the coordinate and she gets access to the whole memories aspect.
Yeah, so they get between the both of them, if they touch, they get what is considered, from what at least the manga suggests, real memories. Because when she's giving the medal, they touch, and in the manga, I don't know if it's here, in the manga, Eren is all of a sudden kissing Historia's hand somehow or something. And everyone
I don't think that happened in the anime, or at least they didn't. The memory thing where Historia got more of a jolt of memory or information.
Yeah, because
Eren definitely did. I don't remember Historia doing it, but I might not be remembering it correctly.
Yeah, because Historia in the manga says, "Eren, what was that?" And the whole auditorium, Mikasa and Armin and all of them are looking at Eren and Historia, and Mikasa's like, "What?" Or Armin's like, "What are you doing?"
Well,
and Eren's like, "What?" And everyone is staring at both of them.
Like zones out and does something weird, and everyone's staring at him. But I don't know about the memory thing with Historia.
Yeah, Historia and Eren look at each other, and Historia's like, "What was that?" And everyone in the auditorium's looking at Eren, being like, "What are you doing?" And they kind of blow past it after that.
Yeah,
but
I might have to go check back into that.
Yeah,
I'll just reread it in the manga.
Yeah,
I'm gonna end up doing that anyway.
But both of them are able to access what's considered the truth. They share the memory. So, like, whatever the memory is, if Historia and Eren are touching, they share the same memory.
Okay, so as long as they're touching, they can tap into the founding Titans' memories.
Which is leading me to believe that when Zeke came over there 3 years ago on his last scouting mission, and how he came back with people who were, like, infiltrating and whatnot, and
he touched Eren and kind of had a realization that he was on the wrong side.
Yeah. Or, yeah, because he's of royal blood, so he might be able to...
Yeah, he might have this. I'm on board for it.
At least that's what I think. And I also think Gabby and Falco, depending on the conversation, like you said, I think they might join Eren and Zeke's side. And is Gabby... No, Gabby's Reiner's brother, right? Or nephew or niece or something?
Something like that.
And is...
I think it's or some kind of cousin or something.
Is Falco and Colt, are they of royal blood?
I doubt it. It's definitely not something that has been mentioned, if they are.
Okay.
It doesn't seem likely. Unless that's some sort of reveal further down the line. It's definitely not something that they've mentioned.
Okay. the reason I think this is because I'm trying to think, because they worship Zeke obviously, but like and my theory still holds. I think Gabby and Falco are still gonna join the scouts.
Resistance.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of other options left open to them, but
But I'm wondering, like,
it would be up to Zeke to convince them. Certainly.
you really think the two kids that killed a main staple of the last couple of seasons will be accepted and join the main cast? I mean,
yeah, no,
what else are they gonna do?
We definitely discussed that. How the rest of the Survey Corps is clearly not going to be okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be okay with it. But I think it's what's gonna happen.
I mean, it's not like they're gonna be like main Survey Corps members, but they're gonna be around as like sort of prisoners or whatever.
Yeah, prisoners, or like maybe they're like, it's kind of like the way Levi and Zeke are working together right now, where like Levi and Zeke are working together. They don't like it, and Zeke is not part of the Survey Corps, but they're working together. I feel like it's going to be that kind of relationship.
The Survey Corps is okay, yeah. Like Zeke, they're okay with Zeke being in there on their team, even though he killed the entire Survey Corps at the end of last season.
And Irwin, who Levi holds a huge grudge for.
Oh yeah, like completely eradicated everyone, down to the last man, basically.
Yeah, this anime has shown that like, no matter what, people have, like, at least in the Survey Corps, have been able to put their personal feelings aside. They're very vocal about it, but they still get the job done. Like, I believe in the first season, Jean goes up to everybody when Eren is first gonna try and plug the hole and use his Titan powers for real. Jean's all like, tells everybody, hey, Eren can't control his powers, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And everyone gets mad at Jean, and Jean's all like, listen, we have to put our faith in you, and I don't trust you worth a damn, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I'm doing this because you're the last hope for humanity, and that's the only reason I'm doing this.
So I don't think they'll be okay with it, but they'll put up with it as long as it serves their overall goal.
Yeah, that's what I think. Zeke,
brother,
I can understand
and
to some
he
degree.
still murdered the
Eren's
shit
brother,
out of everyone.
Well, I mean, you could say that, but you can also like look at it from
like Zeke's got a body count like unparalleled in the rest of the series.
Yeah, but I mean that's how it happens. Scale always comes around. Also, Zeke has done far worse
in the
than
most
Gabby.
recent episode where he nuked the harbor and half of that city.
Yeah,
everyone's bloodstained hands.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things that the anime kind of makes a
of the
point
series
of.
Is like war. Everybody, both sides are at fault in the war.
Yeah, and I think the anime makes a
to rationalize your point or whatever.
What's up?
Oh yeah, especially now this recent act of aggression to take the Warhammer Titan has made Paradise Island the sole target of the entire world. They're all going to come gunning for him.
Yeah,
it's an all or nothing play.
Pretty much
the entire world against the Eldians.
And it looks like that was the plan.
Yeah, but I hope there's more to the plan than that, because right now it doesn't seem like it's going to end well.
No, but maybe I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. The preview shows the other parts of the world as well.
Yeah, like everyone, the entire united world is going to be coming for him.
Yeah. I mean, no, but I'm saying
the harbor was done in effect to slow it down a little bit, but they're all coming, and it's going to end badly for both sides.
Yeah. Also, I just realized, but the next episode is going to talk about other players in the world.
So that'll be interesting for some world building.
Zeke, I can understand to some degree. He is Eren's brother after all. Yeah, but like that doesn't mean jack shit. Zeke and Eren being brothers doesn't really mean a whole lot, especially in the Survey Corps. Like, they've kind of built up this thing where they're like, Zeke murdered a lot of... Zeke was the person who, like, murdered his family and everyone around him. And, so, like, I don't think him being his brother really means a whole lot. It's a reveal, and it's like, whoa. but I don't think him being his brother excuses everything else that he did. I think Gabby and Falco still have a lot of wiggle room, especially Falco because he hasn't really done anything. But Gabby, even though they killed Sasha, and that's gonna really upset the Survey Corps, and it upset us because of how familiar we are with Sasha. We also got to think like so many people have died and so many people have joined. Like so many people have joined just to like move on with the overall goal of humanity. You know, and I think that's the whole point behind it is like, in a war, your personal feelings don't mean jack shit, even though you still feel them, which is again depressing. So does Aaron. He has caused much slaughter and manslaughter to both his people and recently the Marley people. Yeah, doesn't it? Look at the Ackermans. They were at each other's throats. Yeah, well, they are at each other's throats, but they're only at each other's throats in times of crisis. Mikasa really cares about Eren, and so her whole entire world revolves around him. So anything that threatens that,
it seems like she's kind of tired of his bullshit.
yeah,
He's not as eagerly coming to his defense anymore.
yeah. But like, and to be fair, the only time Levi or Mikasa have been at each other's throats is after everything is done. It's in the aftermath part. It's never during, like, the times it's during combat is always times of critical decision. What is the best move to make? Like, that's like the moments of tension are always about faith in each other rather than faith in anything else. And the anime has well established since season 1 that like the dream or the goal is bigger than anything else. In fact, when Hanj said, "Armin, when did you become Erwin?" It was rereading this, especially rereading chapters, the chapters that take place in the anime of season 2 and season 3. You see Armin have this parallel to Erwin. In fact, you see him actually exceed Erwin's dream. Where Erwin just wanted to see the truth behind the world in the basement, Armin was already looking ahead across other lands and seas and what lies beyond all of that. So, and if you consider as far as dream levels are concerned, Armin's dream was surpassed Erwin's because Erwin's dream was just a stepstone for Armin to get to the ocean.
I mean, she's been referred to as an Ackerman. I don't know how accurate that is.
Levi calls her an Ackerman. I know that much. And I know in the manga, Kenny refers to a family that lives up in the mountains some distance away.
That's also mentioned in the anime.
So
because she was orphaned at a young age and we don't get a lot of information on her previous family history, it's hard to say for sure.
We know that Mikasa is Asian and her father was never really talked about. His race was never, or family was never talked about. And we know that the two opposing people that opposed the king were the Asians and the Ackermans. And it's a safe assessment to say that Mikasa is an Ackerman. Her father never disclosed
just based
his family
on
line.
Her abilities. I mean, she has the whole, superpower OP thing.
And Levi heavily stressed.
Levi has.
Yeah. And Levi heavily stressed when they're talking on the carriage to go save Eren and Historia that like he's all like, "Have you ever felt a surge?" And they talk about it and he's like, "I felt one like that too." And they also with Kenny's backstory, he talks about his sister who like Kenny is Levi's uncle. Kenny also talks about another Ackerman family that goes up in the woods in the mountains where Mikasa lived.
Presumably Mikasa's family.
Presumably Mikasa. I mean, I feel like I don't know what other family could it be.
Actorian, I also got that vibe, but like it wasn't expressly stated, so I don't want to like.
Remember that during the Royal
too
Argos
much.
that they were selected long lines that fight. Yeah. She may also remember the abilities of the Ackerman. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what other family lines
I
she could
kind of kept going back and forth. I definitely thought that at first. That like Kenny was his deadbeat dad who like abandoned him, and then like, no, it's his uncle. That's his sister's kid, and it's like, all right. I mean, either way,
family, yeah. But there's no guarantee that she is an Ackerman. She may be something similar, though. I mean, the Asian, like, again, she's still Asian. Like, again, Asian and Ackermans were the two families that opposed the king, and were
yeah. I mean,
so like she still has.
If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck.
It's a duck.
She's an Ackerman in all the ways that seem to matter.
If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's a platypus.
Some other ripple comes up.
But there's no guarantee that she's an Ackerman. She may be something similar, though. Yeah, but that's the thing. The Ackermans actually have a family history. Levi also heavily stressed that his uncle might be his dad. That would be weird because both the anime and the manga, in Kenny's flashback, talk about his sister, and he meets his sister's kid.
I think like the whole like story beat like reveal thing is that you're supposed to think that Kenny is his like deadbeat dad or whatever, that just abandoned him. But then it's like then it's revealed no, it's actually his uncle. His mother was a whore, and he's just some random bastard child. And Kenny took over raising him after his sister died.
Yeah,
I think you're supposed to believe that he's his dad originally when he's introduced, but then the relationship is actually revealed to be his uncle.
Yeah, the reveal is that he's his uncle, not his father.
Yeah,
not the greatest reveal, but
you're supposed to like. Was originally supposed to trick you into thinking that was a possibility, but your ending conclusion is that it's actually his.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mikasa thing, like, because her family history is kind of nebulous, and you know she was orphaned at such an early age, it's hard to say for sure unless it becomes a thing that they state later.
I think she's an Ackerman. Because in the manga, in the very first like when Mikasa has their kids, right? And Mikasa has this flashback of the scarf that Eren gave her and how Eren and Mikasa met. Mikasa had a mother and a father. And Eren's father, Grisha, says that there are some people that just moved into the mountains above us. It would be nice of you to go and meet them. And Eren is supposed to greet them, but Eren stumbles in upon his Mikasa's mother and father who got killed. And the robbers or the people who are like trying to kidnap and sell them as slaves say that she was Asian and she was like the last of her kind, and that the father was a nobody. They don't even know what he is. He's possibly Asian too. We don't know. And that the child is only
he was
half.
an Ackerman.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems all too coincidental.
Unless it comes up in the series where they expressly contradicted, I think it's safe to just kind of go with it.
Yeah, because I mean, there's nothing like between the fact that said someone like between Kenny's backstory where he says another Ackerman family moved up into the mountains, between the very first episode where Grisha has Eren go meet the people who just moved up into the mountains, and between
it's safe. And plus, with her power set and everything, does it really matter if she is one or not? I mean,
she's a badass.
I don't think finding out whether officially she was or not is going to factor into her loyalty or actions going for the reward. So
it would just explain why she's so badass. That's about it.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't really need that explanation because like there are so many people that like it all points to Mikasa being an Ackerman. Like Levi's like, have you ever felt a surge? Yes. It's like there's so much evidence. I would be surprised if they were like, she's not an Ackerman. Yeah. I'd be like, but why? I feel
exactly.
Like
at this point, it wouldn't make sense if they suddenly said she wasn't.
It'd be kind of like if the whole Rey is not a Luke Skywalker. It's all like, okay, but then why all this symbolism about her? Oh, she's a Skywalker then. You know?
Okay, Disney sequel trilogy fucking mess, and I don't think we have time to get into it.
I know, but I'm saying it would be that kind of mess. If just saying that she's not an Ackerman.
Well, clearly they had no idea what they were doing with that whole sequel trilogy. The fact that they didn't plan out what they were going to do with the plot before making those movies is just baffling.
Yes.
And they spent so much of those 3 movies just retconning themselves.
Hi, Wolfie. How you doing? Pretty sure it's been proven that she's an Ackerman. Yeah, like I said, I think there's just too much evidence to say otherwise. The manga hasn't explicitly said she's an Ackerman, but it's been heavily, and I mean heavily implied. Like, to the point where they're like, they've done everything but say that she's an Ackerman.
Well, you know what they say, Arcturian. Anger leads to hate. And that is the path to the dark side. In
the grand scheme of things, Mikasa's heritage doesn't impact the current flow of the story, so it's something to think on.
Whether she found out she was an Ackerman or not at this point wouldn't change her motivations or actions in any way.
Yeah.
And honestly, if they made a point to come in and say she wasn't or was or whatever,
it'd be weird.
And it wouldn't just make sense. It doesn't matter. It is interesting to theorize on. It definitely seems to be what the implication is.
Yeah. I would love
sequel
to see
trilogy,
evidence to the contrary.
Just a mess. There's a few good moments and there's a few things that they do well, but just overall, when you take it as a whole, it's what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, it's because they had J.J. Abrams do the first movie and the last movie, but not the middle movie.
And all the other meddling.
Yes, and all the other meddling.
Like I said, you didn't plan what the plot of the trilogy was going to be before you started making them. Not even a rough guideline.
Yeah. I think the best movie that came out of the recent new movies was Rogue One. I think that was the only good movie. And it was funny because so many people hated
especially
it.
I loved it. Especially that last, everything from when the battle kicks in at that last planet.
Yeah.
The end. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people were upset when that movie came. I remember I was like, I really liked Rogue One. And I was all like, I really like Rogue One. And almost all of my friends and a lot of people, some of them liked it, but I remember the majority of people on Twitter and the majority of people that I knew hated Rogue One. They said, how could I like such a terrible movie? They're like, it's meaningless and it doesn't really add or do anything from the main.
I mean,
and I was all like, but it was a good movie.
It's just an enjoyable. And here's a controversial opinion. I like The Last Jedi. It makes some bold story choices. It's only a bad movie now because of how much next film did to retcon and ignore it.
I disagree. I've heard a lot of The Last Jedi kind of abandons all its ideals towards the latter half. I haven't watched it, so my opinion is meaningless.
But it makes choices. It fucking does something. It the whole reveal where Rey, her parents were nobodies. Brilliant. That it opens up the lore. It's it's not just the fucking Skywalkers, missing their sisters and then saving the world. Just anybody can be here. You can carve your own path into the lore. It's
okay. Like I said, I haven't watched it.
We'll talk about it another time, but
maybe I should watch it. Let me watch it first before I have an opinion on
it. I liked it the first time I watched it. I didn't like it the second time I watched it. Then I watched it again, and then I got it. Okay.
Like I said, let me watch it first before I have an opinion on it. I just remember liking Rogue One, and not a lot of people like it.
With just the whole Kylo Ren's arc, the way they just kind of negated and everything. The Rise of Skywalker, Chewie should have died. I love Chewbacca, but the fact that you oh no, they killed Chewbacca. No, wait, no, we didn't. You reveal that there was no consequences to Rey tapping into the dark side, just ruined that whole.
Yeah, Luffy, and Rogue One also. Yes, exactly, Luffy. It reveals why there was a
Last
discrepancy.
Jedi is a good movie. It's a bad sequel because it doesn't like do anything to develop a lot of the narrative threads that were set up in the previous film.
Rogue One.
Oh, Force Awakens.
Oh yeah.
Like, Last Jedi is a bad sequel to The Force Awakens. It's a good movie as like on its own.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that.
I like, because like the way it I don't know. My brain's a little tired to articulate fully my point on that, but I do like Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker is just such a mess.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
Everything.
I've only seen The Force Awakens. And I thought The Force Awakens was pretty good. The issue with The Last Jedi has less to do with the things that were introduced, but more to do with how it was handled. Again, I have to see it.
Oh yeah, I've heard that Arcturian about how they're trying to like retcon Old Republic stuff with the High Republic lore and make that like a lot of their focus. I've heard good things about it too, though, but I haven't actually personally read it.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't.
I would be interested to see some stories told in that realm. I don't know what's in continuity anymore with Old Republic. I mean, wasn't it all wiped out? Legends?
No, apparently not. Apparently some of it still can't. They're still taking from the books. It's just, it's non-canon canon. Because they keep taking.
Yeah, well, I hope they do like they did like where they brought Thrawn back for Rebels, where like they pick the parts that worked from that stuff and then rework it back into the canon.
Well, that's what they did with the Mandalorian.
Officially, it just nice the Old Republic. I have a fondness for them. They haven't aged well in terms of like gameplay. I went back and tried to play Knights of the Old Republic a year or two ago, and like I was kind of a mess. I love them, but
Arcturian, I've never played it.
they are.
I am
good.
not. All right, tell you
They're
what.
really good. It's BioWare. It's the same people that did like Mass Effect and
Oh,
stuff.
cool. I've never played
before
Mass Effect.
Effect.
Actually, that's not true. I played Mass Effect once, and it was Mass Effect 2, and it was my friend's game,
That's
and I
the
only
best
played
one.
a little bit of it.
Honestly, you can kind of skip Mass Effect 1.
I played Mass Effect 2. I didn't play
Very
one.
beginning, the first opening mission of Mass Effect 1, and the closing like section of the game is great, but there's this whole slog in the middle that's so skippable.
Okay. Well, okay, here's the thing.
They are releasing the whole Mass Effect Legendary Edition, where it's the 3 games remastered, all the DLC. So I think I'm gonna buy it and then play back through it, just to have like a continuous start to finish.
I think Arcturian's actually going to ping me
All right,
and actually going to try and force me to play the Republic.
they're worth checking out. They're just like I say,
have so
going
many
through it, realizing
games.
that they're older games where like the mechanics and like gameplay has not aged well.
I mean, if you can send it to me on Steam, or should I create a
If
PO
it's on
box
sale,
at
I
this
will buy
point?
it for you.
Because
If it's on sale on Steam, I will buy it for you. So you
no,
can play
you
it
don't
for the
have
stream.
to. I just want to know because I
I'm
have
more
so
than
many...
happy to, because it is a good game. I think you would enjoy it because there's good story and whatever. It's just like the gameplay. It's pretty
janky.
clunky.
Yeah.
It's pretty janky because it's like those early to mid 2000s computer RPG.
Bohab, I like how you
Um,
try to manifest. Both you and Wish manifest the will of the chat, and it's.
Is that not why I'm here? That and my pimp duty?
I mean, just because like Wish, like everyone wanted me to play Danganronpa, and then not even a week later, I got a message. I was like going on Steam, and I saw I had a bunch of messages, and I'm like, oh, these must be the rewards from like Don't Starve and whatnot. And I saw Wish had sent me Danganronpa.
Send you
And
games.
you had sent me Final Fantasy.
Sent you Oxenfree. You still haven't played After Party.
Back catalog. Back
Hell
catalog. Do you know how many games I have to get through? Like I have to play After Party, but
I'm
also
gonna
I have
guess
Final Fantasy VII
7.
remake that you gave me, Kingdom Hearts 3
Oh, yeah.
that you gave me. You
I
also
skipped Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, if you're ever really fucking bored, that game, I hated like the first 80% of that game.
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
I have no nostalgia for like the worlds that are covered in it. It's all like Pixar, like Frozen and Angle and stuff, which are okay movies, but I don't have nostalgia for them the way I do like the worlds from the original Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
You should check out Death Stranding. That's another one I gave to you. At least play like the opening section of that game.
Did you give me Death Stranding?
Yeah, I believe I did.
Huh.
Gave you Death Stranding, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
No, you didn't give me Death Stranding. You gave me Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy 15. I thought I gave you Death Stranding as well.
I didn't. The only reason I know this is because I was looking.
Look in one of those cases and see if Death Stranding is in there. I thought I gave it to you.
All right, give me a second. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is.
The opening section of that game, especially, like if you like crazy, high profile, like sci-fi.
All right, hold on. I got the games. So I have with me right here. This says, oh, you did give me Death Stranding. Oh shit!
Yeah, great game. Check it out.
And Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I mostly gave you Kingdom Hearts 3 just to get it away from me permanently. Fuck that game.
So you don't want this at all?
No.
You don't want me to return it at all?
Into the hell. Especially after I played the DLC and like it charged me $30 to replay the ending with a couple extra cutscenes. Fuck you, Kingdom Hearts 3. Fuck you for not tying up your story threads. Fuck you for taking 10 years to make a sequel to a game that then doesn't tie up its story. Fuck you forever. Right.
So here's Final Fantasy 15, and then this is Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Also, there's barely any Final Fantasy stuff in Kingdom Hearts. That's what attracted me to the Kingdom Hearts originally.
I think that's what attracted a lot of people to Kingdom Hearts.
There's barely in it. I like Final Fantasy 15. A lot of people will give it some hate. It's got some weird pacing issues. I honestly enjoyed.
Okay.
It gets a lot of weird hate from some people. I think it's worth checking out. Especially, there's a cooking element to that game that's very satisfying that I think you'd enjoy.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. I just have a back catalog. Yes, I will play these games if people send them to me or whatever. That's how Wish forced my hand. That is how you forced my hand. All of y'all forced my hand. Both you and Wish.
Come on, like you didn't enjoy playing Oxenfree on the stream.
I did. I enjoy the games. Game. I'm just saying I have a back catalog, and so like the best way to get me to play a game is if you make me obligated. Because like if you say play this game, I will play that game, but it'll be on the back burner. But if someone like
it.
Huh?
We'll guilt you into it eventually.
Exactly.
When I type in Knights of the Old Republic, it seems like there's some rumors that they're gonna release like a remastered port of it sometime this year. So maybe wait until that comes out.
Oh, that's
as like I said, the control scheme for the versions that are out there still pretty janky.
Yeah, we'll wait for the remastered version if it comes out. If the remastered version comes out, I'll get it. Cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, like I said, and it seems like a pretty like solid bet, especially since like a lot of the old Star Wars games have been being ports to modern console, like Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy came out on Switch in the last few months. I would say wait for that. They are worth checking out, especially just like story narrative wise. They do some interesting stuff.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, it's crazy. By the way, did you have any predictions for Attack on Titan?
Piccolo learns to drive.
Okay. I think we've tapped it out. Too late, bro. You've basically told me the way to crush you enjoy. I mean, you didn't buy it for me, so like I don't think you got it. Like unless you can, is it on Steam?
Just come on the stream and pester him. Hey, did you?
Did you?
I think he just bought you a video game, man.
I don't think he did. No.
Said check your DMs.
Check my DMs. Cost you less than £1. That's right, motherfucker. What? Hold on 1 second. Cost me less than £1. I don't know how to. Hold on. Little plus icon. Add game. Add non-Steam game. Oh no. No. It's owned by oh yeah, of course it's owned by Disney. Oh no. Shit.
Well, you know, Disney owns everything.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm shitting about. I'm shitting at the fact that
why?
he bought the game.
Oh, well, oh shit.
Because I just put in the code and it's like, you're downloading Knights of the Old Republic. And now I have it. And now it's here. And now it's
you have to
reality.
play it.
Take your time. You'll like it. It'll get you the second one.
It's good. Like I said, it hasn't aged great, so it might take some adjustment getting used to controls. Especially, I'm not sure how the PC port controls are going to work. I would say the second one is the better of the two. But they're both good.
Okay. Actuarian, I have to say that was very underhanded of you. That was not cool. But okay, I guess that's like gonna be one of the games I play after this current list of games I have played. I mean, I'm getting pretty near the end of Danganronpa Despair Girls. You better play it within this year. I don't care if it's on Steam. I'll play it.
Stream.
Yeah,
he will.
I will
get to it. He's got to finish this weird yandere waifu simulator thing he keeps playing.
Yeah, I mean, so Actuarian, something you'll notice is there's these little challenges: editing stream, drawing stream, watch me record Undead Garden music. Those are votes for what you guys want to see me stream next. So Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic will be on the next, like after all of those, it will be on the next thing,
poll.
And I will on the next poll, and I will keep putting these polls up because I'm coming up on finishing a lot of games. So Danganronpa Despair Girls is getting pretty close. Tales of Symphonia, I am 1/4 of the way through it. I guarantee you I'll probably finish it. I'll probably finish
play Tales of Symphonia like a 20th time.
I love that game, dude.
You keep getting mad at me for replaying like Zelda or Final Fantasy Tactics. You're like, there's new games. You need to play new games, and you play Tales of Symphonia every
Leave me alone! I love that game! But you're right. You're right. I do give you shit.
I wish they would do a remaster of it for modern systems.
It would be great.
Add more voice acting.
Me and Wish were talking.
I love like the little vignette skit things.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many of them. They're so great. I would love voice acting for those.
Yeah, they're great. I wish they had voice acting for those. Like if they did a remastered port where they added voice acting to like the whole game, I would play that.
Yeah. See, I want that as well. And then I would love a remaster of Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Symphonia 2. I think it could be so much of a better game. It's just here's my problem. Here's why I love Tales of Symphonia so much versus all of the other Tales series. Because Tales of Symphonia represents the height of all those other Tales series. Tales of Fantasia is a great game. I love Tales of Fantasia as well. But
one of my favorites.
Tales of Symphonia kind of takes Tales of Fantasia and it's almost like I would consider like an updated version of that game. To the point where, which speaking of another game I'd love to see remastered, Tales of Fantasia, I would love to see a remaster like they did with Final Fantasy VII. They bring it into the modern era.
Oh, I'd be happy with just a port, like an English language version I can play on a modern system.
I love the fan dubs you sent me though.
But the
fan
translation ROM.
Yeah.
That's the one I grew up on.
But the thing is Tales of Symphonia is like its battle mechanics and is so far ahead of any game of its time. It's so unique and different from other RPGs in that aspect. Even Tales of Fantasia is like that. It kind of annoys me because a lot of people, the reason why the Tales series is not as, and me and Wish, again, we're talking about this on the last stream, where me and Wish was all like, I like how everyone praises Final Fantasy VII for its battle mechanics and the remake for its battle mechanics when Tales of Symphonia was doing that back in 1991.
Yeah, no, definitely keeps you engaged in a
Yeah.
way that other RPGs at the time did not.
And it kind of annoys me that the Tales series, again, like me and Wish were talking about it, but like it kind of annoys me that like the Tales series has kind of been swept to the side. It's still as popular as it is. It's still this obscure niche.
Yeah, it definitely
of an
doesn't
RPG.
get the love that it deserves,
Yeah,
especially those older titles. I mean,
like
at least like the last couple. I mean, you told me Desteria and Berseria weren't kind of like worth checking out.
they
At least they're widely
disappointed me.
available now.
Like they're so linear.
You see them on the store shelf, you know?
Yeah, I bought them off the store
Back in
shelf.
the day, it was hard to find, you know, like those games. Like Tales of Fantasia never didn't get a English language release until like the Game Boy Advance port.
Yeah,
And you know, the GameCube one was a little flew under the radar a little bit too, even though how great it was.
yeah, and it's like Last Story also was really good, but Last Story felt more like a Tales game than a Final Fantasy VII game. If it wasn't for the fact that
That's one of those so many games that are just kind of lost to time like that. Like Last Story. I was thinking recently about how there's so many like Sega Saturn and Sega CD games that there's literally just no way to play.
unless you have the Sega Saturn,
If yeah, but who does? I have a
People who
Dreamcast,
have a
I don't
lot
have
of money.
Saturn. Yeah, no, I was Googling last night. It's like, is there like a retro Sega Saturn emulator thing a lot of games that I just never got to play. Some of them occasionally, like, Enter Dragoon got a remake recently, so that's good for that. But there's a lot of games that just, there's no way to go back and play them.
yeah,
It makes me sad.
it's just one of those things.
Lost to time.
Yeah,
I would like to play like Sega CD, especially like that version of Lunar or the Snatcher port that was on there.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that, but no way to play it.
It's-
Legitimately, I guess I could find an emulated version.
yeah, I guarantee you, there's a
It lacks
mobile version of it out
Tactile
there.
feel.
They've kind of all retro games. They've kind of already mobilized.
Yeah, but I mean, I would love it if the companies did more to port their back catalogs like that.
Yeah, I don't know if Nintendo might do something like that. That seems like a very Nintendo thing to do.
They do it to some stuff, but like they have such this amazing catalog, but they only like you can only get to so much of it right now. They drop little bits and pieces here and there, but the virtual console just isn't as prevalent as it was during like the Wii and Wii U age.
You know what would be interesting is if Arcadia or Stadia or whatever the Google gaming system, if they capitalized on that. Because they're struggling.
Oh yeah, they basically given up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they closed all their game studios recently. Like,
Oh,
there's a
really?
news story about it like today or yesterday that all of their like first party studios and like exclusive completely shut down.
Oh, crap.
That whole service is on death's door. It's just a matter of time before it gets shut down completely. They say that they're going to keep supporting it, but that's pretty much a lie.
That's sad.
Not really. It was a terrible service.
Oh, it was. It was a terrible
I mean,
idea.
the technology is interesting, but it was just a complete mess how they went about it.
Yeah.
Technology is just not quite there. See, unless you have like a top tier internet and setup to take advantage of it, latency and lagging just makes anything unplayable.
Well, you know what's crazy is at least in my city, they've actually done construction to replace the wires with Google Fiber. We just had construction in our neighborhood, and in
Okay, well, that's
almost all of
good.
our city, where they said that Google fiber is being installed and construction from this time to this time, and they drilled these lines, like not even like uplifting the whole ground. They just drilled these like really deep lines around the area, and
I think I told you that yeah, they're the power company that services my area has a government contract to install a fiber optic network.
oh, nice.
So eventually I will get better internet, but for right now I'm stuck on crappy rural DSL.
Damn. Do I read any light
That
novels? If so, you should read Overlord's light novel. That is quite literally conversation and theory bait. Overlord's really
Overlord,
good. I'm waiting for season 4.
Overlords. I'm not
um,
familiar with Overlords. What is Overlords?
it's a Dungeons and Dragons RPG anime. It's actually really good. It's a little harem-y. It's a little fan servicey, but it's a solid anime. It's one that I enjoy. It's Attack on Titan light.
Okay. All
It's
right,
an
let's see. Marvel
isekai.
series.
It's good. It's on Hulu. I don't
Okay,
want to.
yeah, I can check it out then. I got Hulu.
Um, I love the opening theme songs. They're banging. They're not crazy. They're not as good as Attack on Titans, but they're banging. And I like Overlord. It's a really good anime. But I don't. I mean, if I read, I'm reading books. I don't really read manga unless it's something I'm interested in, and I won't. I don't really read light novels. The novels I read are like I'm reading the history of the Dark Ages. If you want to know what I read, like the type of stuff I read is Note by Note, which is an ode to the love of playing music, specifically piano. It tells the story of a teacher who accounts what it's like to be a teacher, a parent, and a student, and explains light music theory enveloped in a personal story that spans what music is and the concept of how ideas and thoughts of classical music versus jazz and the freedom that music can bring to the constrictions that it can also bring, and how they are both beautiful in their own ways. It wasn't a bad book. It was pretty good. But you know, I wouldn't say
I
it's a
might.
bestseller, but I would say it's very well written, and it has a lot of good quotes in it that I like to use for the meaning behind music.
I might check out the anime. I don't know. Not a strong reader.
And then the other book I'm reading is obviously the history of the Dark Ages, and then I'm reading an adventurous nonfiction novel that takes place in like the 18 and 1900s, and it's a fiction nonfiction. I forgot what those are called. It's like a fictional story but taking place in our world.
Historical fiction.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Historical fiction. Yeah,
Uh,
historic.
I believe so, unless you're describing a more specific subgenre.
No, I think it's historical fiction. It's like it's a historical. It references historical events that happened in our world, but it has its own kind of pseudo story going on.
But yeah, historical fiction.
Yeah, um, and
I don't read that much anymore.
it's one of my New Year's resolutions. One of my New Year's resolutions is to read 2 whole
I
books.
should.
Um, I know.
I really should.
Yeah, you
I
should.
mean, occasionally I'll put like an audiobook on in the background.
Do you
But
still have?
I don't sit down to read as much anymore.
This is completely sidetracking a lot of stuff. But do you have the Redwall series?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking about going to half books because my friend has the whole Redwall series, and like a lot of books. She has like I think 48 books or something like that. Of like
There's 21 in the series, unless you count some of the side stories.
that's what
Tales
I'm
of
talking
Flying
about.
Dutchman, Redwall Cookbook.
They're like
Okay, yeah, the complete Ryan Jakes. Yeah, that would probably be about 40. Love me some Redwall.
Yeah,
I
she sent
grew
me
up
a
on that.
picture of her like wall of Redwall and all the like Redwall adjacent stories. that are not called Redwall. They're called something else, but I forgot.
Probably Castaways of the Flying Dutchman is his other series.
Yeah. So she has all of that stuff. Quicksilver is actually more about England and America in their heydays during the 1900s and how technology advances, and it's more of a murder mystery, along with a little bit of adventure. It's a 980-page book, I think. Hold on.
It's a
I'll show you what I'm
hefty
reading.
tome.
All right. So this is the first book I'm reading, and it is just a historian. All it is a historian going through an analysis, using evidence and using evidence he found on his travels, doing research in all around the world about the Dark Ages to try and like reveal the truth. He says the title isn't an accurate description, but catches the vibe. As the publisher said, it's the most catchiest title, but he doesn't really mean to show the dark side of it, but rather shine a light on aspects of the medieval centuries, the Renaissance and the Enlightenment, and shine a light that isn't really talked about as much when we talk about those historical time periods. So he just like talks about like artums. He like references poetry and books and philosophers. He references music and a bunch of other stuff, and historical documents, and just writes them with a little bit of his own opinions thrown in. So it's an interesting read. It doesn't have a narrative. It's not like Once Upon a Time. It's just kind of like this is what I found, and this is what it says, and this is what I think about it. But I like it. And then this is the... and how many pages is this? This is... Get out of here, index. 400 page. It's a 400-page book. This one, obviously, is much bigger. This is the... Oh! Mr. Cryptonomicon himself. So, Neil Steffens' Quicksilver. This is the first volume. It's very interesting because you get put into this fictional, like this, not fictional, but like this world. This is London and stuff like that. This historical world, but with like way back in the past. And this is like taking place during Louis the 15th. This is a 920-page book. So yeah. Anyways. That was not that interesting at all. But I just wanted to let you guys know what I was reading. Put those off to the side. Yeah, I read... The only book I read last year was that one, and I finished that one. And it was... My goal was to read more books. It wasn't specific. So this year, I'm saying I'm going to read 2 books. And those are the 2 books I'm going to read. Those are the 2 books I want to finish by the end of this year.
The goal is eventually to get enough books to get a personal pan pizza.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine being back in elementary school?
Summer reading programs.
Oh. They were annual reading not even summer. They were at least at my school, for my middle school and elementary school, they would have these like, so like every semester they would have like this book club where like you go in, you spend like $2-3 buy a book, and if you like read so many books or whatever, you would get like...
Are you referring to the Scholastic Book Fair?
I think so, but they gave us pizza if we like finished this like so many books or so on or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they would have it like, so they'd at the end of the semester they'd be like, like you'd make a book report and you'd turn it in and they'd give you pizza. Or something like that. I don't remember. It was something like that. It was some weird deal where like...
I don't remember a lot of the details. I just remember being motivated by pizza.
Yeah, that's about it. That's the same with me. I remember, like, I don't know. I don't even think it was a book report. I think it was just like, how many books did you read? I'm like, 3.
Yeah, you have to check off the list or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, it worked.
Why don't you join like a reading club or make one? Okay, so here's the thing. I tried doing a reading stream, but so I don't want to say I have a brand, but I will say I have an audience that it definitely enjoys it when I talk more than when I play video games or anything like that. If I had to say what the people like, the people that follow me for, it's to talk. Like that is like if I look at it, if I'm being objective, if I was gonna be like, I want to make this my full-time job. I want to capitalize on what I do to the best of my abilities. I'd probably just have just chatting streams with a game or two thrown in there every once in a while, but it would be mostly just chatting because that's what a majority of people come to see me do. But the fact of the matter is, the reason why I stream is to get better at music, to work on my improv skills, and it's kind of also like a break from my life where I have to like work. So like I get to play games that I normally don't get to play. I don't get to play games when I'm not streaming. I can't. I have so many other things I have to do. So when I stream, it's like my chance to play games that I haven't played in a while. That's why I love it when we get to play Genshin Impact or Danganronpa or whatever. And also, like, obviously, I have the voting thing because I want you guys to have fun while doing this. But me streaming is kind of like my selfish reason to have some free time. I mean, if people want to, if you want to start a book club in the Discord, I have a section for it. If you choose a book and we all buy it and we all read it and we can review it like we're doing right now with Attack on Titan, I'm totally down. If we can get enough people to do it, yeah, I'm totally down. It's just, the idea of doing it and the idea of us all agreeing on reading a book that we want to read. I mean, you can. You can have a life with games as well. Like, I don't see why it has to be one or the other. What do you think, Bohab?
Depends on the book. I can be a little picky about what I read sometimes.
Oh, I was talking about the life.
In order for me to stay motivated. Okay, no, I guess I wasn't paying attention. What was the question?
I mean, yeah, no, the book thing too. But the question...
What was the actual question you asked? Because apparently I wasn't listening.
Oh, Actuarion said, I wish I was like you. I actually have a life... actually has a life outside of games. I'm like, I don't know. I was saying that it could go both ways. Like, you could have a life with games or without games. It depends on personal people. I have a life.
I choose video games.
But I mean, we also like work and do stuff. Like, we have lives outside of this.
Adulthood's lame. Taking time for your hobbies is tough.
It is. I would love to just play games. I really would.
Oh God! Oh, if I never had to work again.
Pay us money so we never have to work again.
Some people are motivated by their job and love what they do. For me, it's just a way to pay rent and bills.
I'm torn because I love what I do, but I don't like what I do.
Well, I mean, you have a much more like more fulfilling job now than you did, like, say, when you worked at the hotel before.
Yeah,
you're working towards a cause that you believe in.
But it's
other than just making money. Me, I just make money for a corporation that doesn't give a shit about me.
I keep telling you, I keep telling you if there's anything I can do.
That's the town I live in. It's either I'd be doing it for this corporation or another one. There's not a lot of. There's nothing else to do here.
I know. That's what sucks.
I could go work at the dog food factory, or any other or a corporate chain.
Yeah.
And customer service or whatever.
I know you can have both. I just don't because it's hard. You could start investing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stock markets are great right now, Bohab. Go to Reddit.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how much GameStop stocks Robinhood will let me buy today.
I know. Oh man, Robinhood. I think their app is closed. Is it not? Weren't they like getting sued or something?
They're definitely getting sued, and the SEC is looking into them. There's definitely gonna be some consequences for their fuckery. But we'll
I hope so.
see what happens. We're still living in America, so they'll probably get a
Slap on the wrist.
multi-billion-dollar bailout, learn nothing, and then do it again in about 4 years.
I really hope. I want to see Reddit do something like that again. I kind of do. I want to see the stock. I'm sorry. Capitalism is.
I don't think this is going to be the last time that a hedge fund gets taken down by our Reddit thread. I think that's going to become a new thing that happens every once in a while.
It's just
to keep the financial system on their toes.
They're like,
fuck them.
Yeah, exactly.
I had lunch with my parents the other weekend, and I talked at length with my dad about this. He actually does invest and knows shit about the stock market, and he's more or less on the Redditor side. That hedge fund fucked up by trying to game the system in a really shitty way.
Oh no, 4chan's toxic.
Yeah, 4chan's a little too.
I'm afraid of 4chan. 4chan is where QAnon came from.
4chan definitely has the level of malice required to attempt something like this, but maybe not the organization skills.
Definitely not the organization skills. Also, I feel like it would be way too racist. Whereas I feel like at least Reddit was doing it to disrupt the status quo. I feel like if I heard 4chan did it, I'd be like...
4chan would definitely find a way to
why?
Make hurting a minority a factor of their plan in an uncomfortable way.
Other than
4chan has done, they can get things done when they want to. It's just they usually don't want to do anything unless it is just like really just bizarre in its motivation.
Also, 4chan came up with like a lot of the most toxic and like 4chan's the reason. Like 4chan's not the reason, but it's where it started.
I stay away from
the siege on the Capitol. The siege on the Capitol in America didn't start in 4chan, but the person who started it came from 4chan.
I'm sure they played into some of the misinformation. They enjoy trolling.
They're a big trolling community, but sometimes their trolls go too far and actually have dire consequences. So many people from 4chan have disrupted, at least in America, so many things, and in not a good way. In more often than not, a very racist, very aggressive, and very toxic way.
I don't want to badmouth 4chan too much and become the target.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, let's not antagonize.
I said fair enough. I'm not trying to get 4chan against me. Also, the fact of the matter is, there's ways we're trying to like fix things, and it just it's so annoying to try and fix things, and the people you're dealing with are just
a lot of America's problems are just so dumb.
There's simple solutions. There's honestly simple solutions.
But people are so stubborn, and the fact that truth isn't a thing anymore.
We could just start talking about Attack on Titan again.
The fact that misinformation is more widely available and accepted than truth on the internet is so depressing.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Shoot, I wanted to say this, just because I'm looking at my Stormtrooper in the back. The Mandalorian is okay. It's not great. It's not the best thing that's ever happened. It's just okay.
Oh, well, I think it's better than okay. I guess.
People like
I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I enjoy it too, but like Do
you ever watch like Rebels or Clone Wars or any of that?
Yeah, I watched Clone Wars and stuff like that. I'm just saying.
Do you watch Rebels or?
I don't watch Rebels. I watch Clone Wars.
Okay. It builds on a lot of stuff from Rebels and like the later seasons of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That I think makes it more enjoyable.
No. I think I'm being I'm not saying it right. When I say it's okay, like okay, so when I think Mandalorian is good, I feel like there's a lot of hype behind it, but it's like I feel like most of the hype comes from the fact that the trilogy was such a mess. The most recent trilogy was such a mess, and then the Holo series, the not the Holo, the yeah, the Han
4chan
Solo.
can be chill. It's just that when it is toxic, it's like so toxic. There is some fine stuff on 4chan, but occasionally it just goes off the deep end in a way that nobody can really feel good about.
I will say this, Acturion. I feel like Reddit is on the verge of becoming 4chan. I feel like everything that was 4chan, like it went to Tumblr, and it started to happen kind of on Tumblr, and then Tumblr died of it, so many reasons.
I get what you're saying, that all social media platforms slowly slide toward the 4chan end of the spectrum.
But 4chan did it first.
And harder.
4chan always wants to let everyone know who the OG is.
I think with the Mandalorian thing, reason why it's so hype and so people are excited that they can feel good about Star Wars again.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That doesn't happen often.
I know. That's why I was all. You know what? That's sad to say though,
it
because
justifies the nostalgia and the time and energy that we put into loving it as kids.
See, like, because here's the thing.
That is a good way of putting it. Mando is good because it's not bad.
Yeah, Mando is good because it's not bad.
It's nice to be able to just conventionally enjoy something that's Star Wars related.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of those victories.
No, I know. That's my point.
Rationalized it to people. It's like, no, yeah, the prequels are bad, but if you watch all this extra stuff, it kind of recontextualizes and makes it less shitty when Jar Jar Binks fucks in Liam Neeson's or whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, and I do want to say this because I've seen it, and I'm like, oh, Mando's pretty cool. And there's a lot of fan service. You can tell Mando is doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's one of those things where I don't want to ruin anyone's fun. I don't want to like bash on it. It's just I have the same thing with My Hero Academia. It's like so many people are like, it is the greatest, most revolutionary anime of all time, and I'm like, it's a basic Shonen Jump thing, and it's not even the best Shonen Jump thing. And it's like once something is overhyped and shoved in my face
I get
so
that.
much, like I'm like
that's why I won't watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I refuse to apologize. But yeah, Rebels was great, and I liked how it sort of matured in tone as it went on from seasons to season.
That's what I heard.
Say
I heard
the
Rebels
first
started
season
off...
is definitely more like of a kid's show.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the end of the series, it has a much more adult tone and a way of storytelling.
See, and that's what I've been told. I heard a lot of people hated season 1. Season 2, they were like, it fixed some of it, but it sucked. And then they said season 3, everyone loved season 3.
Rebels season 1 is, that is true.
Okay, so again, I haven't
seen it. It's good enough that you can get through it. I don't think the same is true for Clone Wars. Like, those first couple seasons of Clone Wars are fucking unwatchable.
Really?
Like, oh my god.
Damn.
Terrible.
I watched those.
Like,
I don't remember them being that bad.
They are awful.
I guess
the way that's just painful.
About
Rebels, like, if you're gonna watch Clone Wars,
them.
skip to season 3 at the very least.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it too. Again, I didn't watch Rebels. I didn't watch Rebels because people hated it. I just didn't watch Rebels because I didn't watch Rebels. I didn't watch Rebels.
It's worth checking out, especially as it's gonna tie into the larger like Disney Plus shows like Mandalorian and spin-offs with Ahsoka Tano and Boba Fett and all that.
Yeah, no, I see that. No, the way I...
Oh yeah, good point. Actually, yeah, when Vader showed up in that like double length episode at the beginning of season 2, that definitely kicked the whole show up a notch.
Yeah, it kept raising the bar. Okay, I mean, okay, again, let me put it this way. I
hope that's something we do get going down the line. It's more like post Revenge of the Sith, pre A New Hope, like Vader at the peak of his powers, just like fucking shit up.
Yeah.
There have been some good stuff in the comics with that. And there's going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that will hopefully tie into maybe some of that stuff, or maybe I'll show up in something else. But I want more like early Vader.
Also, my prediction for the spin-off Boba Fett series, Boba Fett gets stuck in the Sarlacc pit again.
All right. Fine.
I think that by the end of the series, he'll be, or at least in the middle of the series, he'll be stuck in the Sarlacc pit. And there will either be a time skip or a jump or something.
I'm excited. I've always liked Boba Fett. I know he went out like a chump
3 times.
And there's like,
3 times in Legends. He gets
like when I was growing up was in the area of like the comics and stuff. Like there was the whole like thing with like the Johto cast, and he escaped the Sarlacc pit and like back down and murdered the guy who was impersonating. And there was a lot of like stuff in the I know, and just like the core films, he barely does anything but stand there and look cool. Mm-hmm. And then he takes off his helmet and he's got like the goofiest glasses and mustache combination in history.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the pictures of the Boba Fett actor with his helmet off, right?
Yes.
He is the goofiest like dad bod guy in history.
It's just weird for you to say that because I'm like, okay. I don't disagree. I just think that's very interesting.
But I like Boba Fett. And it was nice to see him kind of like glorified in especially that episode where he first comes back and just wipes out a stormtrooper platoon. That was a fantastic moment. Kudos to Robert Rodriguez. He is a fantastic director and he did a great job with that episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not despite the fact that I have Star Wars stuff behind me, it is not the biggest thing I'm into. I like Star Wars. I'm not fan crazy about it.
It's hard to be, especially it's an emotional roller coaster being a Star Wars fan because it does so much to disappoint you so often.
Yeah, I can't.
Prequels, the sequel trilogy, they keep dropping the ball in just insane ways.
Yeah. I mean, because like the way I look at it, and this is why I said what I said, Mondo's okay, not great, is because I think as it is a good story, it goes by a very solid formula that becomes so predictable, it kind of gets boring. I find Mondo good, but boring. I feel like there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of fan service, a lot of like, yeah, they add stuff from Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff like that, but it's like, it enriches the experience, but only so much, especially for a person like me who's not a fan, who's not super invested in all of these people. I'm just like,
yeah,
okay, cool.
I mean, all that extended universe stuff and like the TV shows and Clone Wars, they make the prequel movies better, but not good enough to justify their existence. And Arian seems to be more of a fan of like the Old Republic, High Republic type stuff, which is such a it's such a great setting. It's disappointing that they haven't done anything in it really.
Yeah.
At least not in the main canon. Hopefully, I mean there was talk of them developing movies set in that era. I don't know what's going on with that right now.
Yeah. Also, side note, before I see Arturian, I'm going to get to your comments, but I just want to do this one side note. Bohab, I would like to remind you that Echo said the same stuff about JoJo that you did, and then when I watched Barry and he watched JoJo, his opinion completely changed.
Yeah, Barry's fantastic.
Yeah, Barry it's good. I like it. But
I know I'm 100% wrong on not watching JoJo, and it's a mistake, but I'm going to stick with it.
Until I force you to watch it, right?
Yeah, I'm very stubborn.
I know you are. But I love you.
I love you too. It's just that Attack on Titan thing got out of hand. I honestly thought since we only had the one episode to talk about this week that it would not be as long as it was.
But even though not a lot happened, I feel like everyone just needed to vent about Sasha a whole lot.
We had a lot of grief and other emotions to work through with Sasha's death.
This wasn't supposed to be this long.
It wasn't.
That's what we said last time
Even
too.
with the watch stream, we were only supposed to do this for like an hour or two.
God damn it!
And then a brief discussion on the episode of Attack on Titan. It all gets out of hand like it always does.
Yeah, we kind of ended up just talking about Star Wars.
We enjoyed it, man. It's been fun.
No, I love talking. Because I mean, if we're gonna do this every Tuesday,
yeah, it seems like we have a tendency to get out of hand, and we did one of the things we said we were gonna do.
we did, and then we completely sidetracked it to something else.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Well, the title's still accurate. We're still mourning.
Yeah,
We're the whole entire. We've been mourning Star Wars. We've been mourning Sasha. We're mourning all of the fallen tragedies of life right now.
it feels good to talk about it.
Just vent all the bad things out. Yeah, this was crazy. This got out of hand real fast. I feel like this is gonna be watch this. We say this, and then one day we're gonna not plan anything, and we're just gonna talk about Attack on Titan, and it's gonna be literally like just 30 minutes of us talking about it and be like, well, I guess there's
then if we can play something else.
Shoot. Well, I mean, I'm almost done. I have 30 minutes. I usually try to do 4-hour streams. I mean, I could end it here, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, obviously, there's other stuff we could talk about. I feel like we could talk for hours, but I also know, I think...
But I do have stuff I need to do. I promised I was going to clean my kitchen and bathroom today, and I have not gotten around to it.
I keep telling
And
you, man, buy a journal.
Attention. Yeah, I know.
It really has helped me. I mean, obviously not when I stream, because I don't plan my streams. I kind of plan my streams. I pseudo-plan. I say I'm going to do this, and...
yeah.
I just don't. I guess. I don't know. By the way, Magicat. I'm starting to play Magicat. If anyone wants to... I know there's people who voted on it who wanted me to play it if they're curious. I'm doing singing with the chat, and then I'm playing Magicat. If anyone wants to see what Magicat's all about, I play it every Saturday? Yeah, every Saturday. I mean, my streams start every day at the same time. Or at least for the most part, they try to start at the same time. And as far as... what is it? Every Thursday, I'm going to be playing Hollow Knight. Question. Just for anyone who's here, whether you voted on it or not, should I start that game from the beginning, or should I continue where I left off last time I streamed it?
I'd say probably just continue from where you were. I mean, I don't see the benefit really to going back any further than that.
And just starting all over? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, also with the style of game that it is, I don't see the benefit of restarting from scratch.
I was just curious because I have a lot more people who have joined, especially within the past year, who weren't around when I played Hollow Knight, and I stopped playing the Hollow Knight altogether.
Yeah,
so
but I mean, you don't really need to know what's happening story-wise, I think, for that one.
Okay. Yeah.
It's more about, the exploration and grinding through the different areas.
So yeah, then I'll just leave off where I left off in Hollow Knight. I definitely love that game. That one's gonna be every Thursday, and that one's gonna be an emote chat only for the simple fact that I got berated. It was a tough game to stream. It started off great until people started telling me what to do, and started freaking out. And I was all like, you spoiled the game for me. It wasn't the fact that people were telling me how to play. It was more of the fact that they were... Like, if they hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have known. And it was, like, major plot points. And I was all like, well, that's...
Oh, okay.
Now I have to shape my whole entire gameplay around the storyline.
That's not satisfying, then.
Yeah, like, it wasn't the fact that they were telling me what to do, like, oh, maybe you should try this or this. It was the fact that they're like, you shouldn't do this because then later in the game, if you do this story unfolds and you find out about this secret boss, and this boss does this and shapes the story this way, and this is the true ending.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
shitty.
And I'm like, I didn't know any of that, and now I have that in the back of my head. And it's been enough time to the point where I forgot it. And I already did the act. But I forgot what it was, what they told me, which I think is good.
Good, yeah.
But it was a spoiler for later parts of the game that I had nothing to do with, and that wasn't even told about. The only reason he knew about it was, I guarantee you, after you play the game, they're probably like, you could have done this and this and this and this or something.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it was kind of like it's one of the reasons why I'll never play Undertale. Um, I played Undertale a little bit, but I played it kind of after the fact that I watched the playthroughs and I already knew about the pacifists and stuff like that. But I heard a bunch of gamers who were trying to play it for the first time who had never heard of this game. They stopped playing it. A lot of people, a lot of streamers that I don't know personally, but I know of, when they voiced their opinions, they stopped playing Undertale altogether because people were telling them how to do the pacifist run or the genocide run or this or that, and that you should do this and you should do that, and giving major spoilers away for the whole entire narrative of the game. And
Yeah, I understand why that wouldn't be very satisfying.
so that's why I want to
Annoying.
like just put emotes on the chat, because I don't want spoilers. I don't care if you tell me like, oh, you're having trouble because you're not jumping high enough, or maybe if you use this weapon instead of this weapon, you might have better chances. If you tell me this creature's weak against fire and I'm using a water weapon, and you're like, maybe you should use a fire weapon, that's not really a spoiler. I may be stubborn about it, but like that's not really a spoiler. I don't care. I'll be like, okay, cool. I'll use the fire weapon. I was just curious if I could do it without that. But if you tell me, yeah, you don't want to kill this character because later on in the game he becomes a crazy ally that takes on King Richard in this great battle, I'm like, okay, I didn't know the ending of the game and I didn't know that, and that's cool. But let me find out the hard way whether I want to keep that character or not. If I accidentally kill them, that's a tragic moment for me. And then I get to experience that tragic moment. But if you take that tragedy away, then my whole entire you're planning out my route, making me decide around this one character that you want to see at the end rather than having him die. And that wasn't a choice I made, but yeah. Yeah, never. I mean, I don't care if people talk to me during games. The whole point of me streaming a game is so we can talk, whether it's about the game or whether it's about what's going on in your life or whatever. I want to, like, when I play a game, I always want to feel like I'm in a room with friends and we're all in the same room and we're all watching me play the game and we're all having this conversation. We have a few. We have our food, we have our drinks, we have our just like chill time, and we're all watching something or we're all hanging out playing something. And I want us to just have natural dialogue and conversation. Yeah, it's a little one-sided because obviously I'm talking and reading what you guys are saying, but at the same time it's like I also want that like connection where it's like, yeah, hey, how you doing, da da da, what's going on with you, how's your life, what do you want to talk about? We'll talk about anime, games, whatever. We can even talk about this game. You can talk about like, oh, I see you're at this point. How did you feel about this, or this? Because I don't care if it's stuff that I've done in the past, because it's stuff I've done in the past. I've already experienced it, so of course we could talk about it.
Hey man, I think I'm gonna say goodnight. I do have things I need to do.
Of course. Well,
This
then,
was fun. We'll do it again next week.
Of
Discuss
course.
the next week's episode. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, I think you know what I might do? I might edit the last one we did, where we talk about Attack on Titan, and I might edit this one and upload it on YouTube, because the way I thought I was going to have a video ready by tomorrow, turns out the video I'm editing is the wrong video. So I spent all this time editing a video that I was like, I can't even upload this because it's not the right video I was editing. So I'm not going to have an upload on YouTube tomorrow, but I do have videos on YouTube if you want to check out some of my stuff. I might just edit last week's video and upload it sometime this week as a late video, and then upload a video the following Wednesday, which will probably be this video. If I can get my major video done, that would be nice. I'm trying to memorize the script I wrote, but what have you. But anyways, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I should do it like this or if I should put like an image up, put some chill music. Should we, Bohab, are you still here?
I'm here.
Should we make music for the background of this? Like, if I edit this all together, we could put some like
Do like a smooth jazz backing track just for filler noise.
filler noise.
We could throw something together.
Just a thought. Some just like chill music while we talk about some stuff. Yeah, you think we should do it like a podcast? This is just your humble opinion, though. Yeah, sure, Ian. I mean, yeah, we could do something like that. Do you want to? You know what's funny is me and Bohab have talked about multiple times doing different kinds of podcasts, and it'd be very funny if this just ended up being our very first podcast.
We never quite settled on a format.
Yeah, I mean, I came up with an outline.
It's still something I'd be down to do for you.
I would love to
if we come up with a good idea.
I think it's just a timing issue is what it comes down to.
Yeah, getting our schedules to line up isn't always the exact science.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Well, a podcast is just a couple of guys talking about a theme. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know what's great is I found a like a playlist on YouTube of just RPG town music, just like the background music when you're in a town in an RPG from like old like Super Nintendo and all that kind of shit.
Oh yeah,
super relaxing, great to put on the background.
I have a whole playlist on the Stone Kitty Production YouTube channel. We have my not my coffee playlist, but my watch playlist. If you scroll down enough, it's just there's about I think 400 hours of because like each video is like 3 hours or 4 hours of just RPG town music. And a lot of tales of Symphonia music.
Chill, just like really like lowers your tension because that music is designed just to be like such a like it's chill. There's no monsters. We're just hanging out, having a good time.
Slavery doesn't exist. Sorry, it's just a lot of RPGs that take place in like eras of like the in the like medieval era kind of ignore the fact that slavery is a thing. Some of them don't. Tales of Symphonia does not ignore that at all. It's actually the main plot of the whole entire thing. But a lot of RPGs do. And a lot of medieval anime do. It is something that kind of always bothered me. Anyways.
That is true. It's not a point I'd thought about before, but it is very true.
Yeah.
All right, now, I'm actually going away now.
Okay. All right.
Got things to do. We keep delaying it.
I know, but isn't
we
that
all have our lives to get back to. I love you, and I will talk to you again soon. Definitely, we're doing this next week.
All right, sweet.
We'll see what happens.
All right, sweet.
All right, good night, man.
Good night. You guys are beautiful. You guys are all amazing. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with us while we rant on and on about a bunch of stuff. I want to say, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, for hanging out, for chilling with us. And, just remember to be awesome. 100%. Bye-bye.